Town, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Man, we missed you guys. We missed you guys so much. And by the text messages and DMs that I received while we were gone, you missed us a lot too. And that feels very, very good. Man, it's like first day of school to be back in here. I have no idea what I'm doing. I cannot organize the thoughts in my head, but we will try for the next 4 hours. So good to be back with you guys. I'm Woodsy. To my right, Paul Reindl, the executive producer of the program. Good morning to you, sir.
Hey, how are you? Go Padres.
Good to see you. Go Padres.
Go
indeed.
Padres,
baby. Look at you guys today. Man, to my left is my pal, Benjamin Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor and news anchor. Benjamin, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Are you a little underdressed? What happened to your team, your vaunted team spirit?
I guess
Woods?
I'm just a big coward. Man, you guys are fans, Benny and Paulie. You weren't going to make that mistake
You're a fat
again.
cuck loser.
P-word, race gay slur. Like, God, dude.
You guys are tough out there.
Jeez.
You guys are tough.
You know, I thought you guys liked us. I mean, I really did. Like, I really did. And I am no hero for wearing a hat at the Phillies game. I said this on the live stream. I was quite inebriated on the live stream as well that we did. And I was mad because Bob Scanlon, and we'll tell you guys all about our trip and Philly. But first of all, it's wonderful to be back. It really is great to be back. I am as well rested as I've ever been in my life. I don't feel good. I'm so well rested that it doesn't feel right. I sat on my ass when we got home for like 3 days. It did nothing, man. Like, I went to the gym a couple times, but like I'm very well rested. Mentally, I feel great. Physically, I'm again, my body is like, all right, I kind of needed that. But it's so good to be back with you guys, the tier ones. We did spend an inordinate amount of time sitting at a bar. The nights run together. What nights? What night? Monday night?
Monday night, we cut loose at the bars.
Okay, so
Monday night.
Monday night after the game was the night.
We went back and did our member stream for an hour at the hotel, and then it was on.
That's right. So we went to this dive bar in Philly. It was epic.
Oscars.
And we sat there, and we've never gotten drunk together as a show. Never once, man, in 7, almost 8 years or whatever. And we let it rip. I mean, we let it rip. I have not let it rip like that in years. And
once you get going, you can throw down a lot of drinks in like 2 hours.
You really can. We had the jukebox going. We had
cash only.
Cash only.
We had
stones on the jukebox.
We were not at a tourist trap.
No,
definitely not.
Just those
drinks were cheap. I mean, every round was like $20. Drinks were cheap.
Those very thin glasses that are about, maybe 6 inches tall.
And if you squeeze a little too hard, you might shatter
it in your hand. Man, we sat at that table and we looked back at what how lucky we've been and how amazing you guys are out there. We spent an inordinate amount of time talking about the tier ones as the greatest audience in the world and pinching ourselves, really like looking back and going, how did this happen? Really, how did this happen? For this show. And I'm telling you, man, it was really special. We bonded incessantly. It was such a needed trip for us. I think you guys feel the same way.
Oh yeah.
I think we were all making each other insane before we left. We got to spend a lot of time together and cut loose, let our hair down a little bit. And boy, did we. My God.
Yeah, tier ones. I know I saw it. I know you missed us, and we're sorry we're gone, but we may have bought a few extra years out of Woods just by going on that trip last week.
I think you're right, man.
It may be worth it in the long run.
I think you're right.
To let us go for a few days.
Yeah. It was getting dicey there for a minute. And, I think they did. I think they got me to commit to like 2 more contracts, which is great. Like, I feel good about it too. I was on the fence. It's not their fault. It's just the nature of the business sometimes. But so anyway, let's get to the address the moment at hand. So we go to the Bob Scanlon. We run into Scan Man.
That SOB.
We sit in our seats at Citizens Bank Ballpark. And this is after we had gone down to the clubhouse and said hello to the fellas and talked to Schulte. We got to spend some time with AJ Preller. We saw this high level meeting, which was pretty cool to be down there for. AJ sitting at this random desk when we walked in. And hey, he's like, hey, what are you guys doing here? We're like, oh, we came for our vacation. We took vacation to come and see you guys in Philly. We flew across the country on our dime. Company didn't pay for this. Coming out to see you boys. Wanted to say hello. Talked to T. Wade. Said hello to Jackson Merrill. Said hello to Manny. Said hello to Toddy. Said hello to Gavin Sheets. All the fellas, right? Crony walks up. First thing he says, what the F are you guys doing here? We said, we came to watch you. That's a quote. So we're sitting there. And all of a sudden, Manny walks up behind AJ and kind of leans in. He goes, got a minute? AJ's like, yeah, sure. They go in the office. They shut the door. Schulte walks in. He shuts the door. I go, oh, boy. I can't believe this. Manny's getting traded. They're asking Manny to waive his no trade clause.
Sending him down.
I can't. Yeah, they're sending him down. Sending him down to El Paso to work on his game. We couldn't believe it. And we were there. So we're sitting there. And that was cool. And then Scan walked by and he said, what are you guys doing? We're here on vacation. So we ended up going to our seats. Now we met an old friend that we'd never met before. John Marks is a radio legend in Philadelphia. Been on the air there for many, many years.
Oh, yeah. Heard him on this show. Anytime we've had to talk Philadelphia, whether it's the Eagles in the Super Bowl, Phillies playoff games, that's our guy.
I've been on his show. He's been on ours. John Marks is a legend and he's awesome, man. You just couldn't ask for a better time, and we're just shooting the breeze about the business and all that. So we're sitting in our seats and Scan's down there in his little camera and he turns around, he goes, hey fellas, and he snaps a picture and he posts the picture, and I don't think anything of it, like, yeah, hell yeah, I give him the fist. And
well, we knew where our seats were. We knew the section was near the dugout and like third row, and then when we walked onto the field before the game, we saw like the little camera well, and we're like, hey, that's the home or the visitor's side. Yeah. I wonder if that's where Scan will be. And sure enough, the whole game, when he was chiming in on the broadcast or whatever, he was right in front of us.
Right in front of us. And so he takes the picture and posts it. Well, deep convo. We're enjoying the game. Not really enjoying the game because Zach Wheeler was ridiculous. I mean, he was ridiculous that night. So we're sitting there, and all of a sudden I see these tweets start to roll in, and they are just roasting my beloved Paul and my beloved Ben, and calling me a hero. And I go, what is everyone on about?
That post on X had 54,000 views and 82 comments. I don't think more than, 2 or 3 of them were positive.
Some were like, hey, good to see you, fella. Like a couple. The rest were like, you and Paul are sellout, loser, cucks, weenies. I can't believe you're scared. So, normally I don't know that we even address it, but I think it's important to once again remind folks of this. You tell it, because you told it so eloquently, Ben, on the live stream.
So knowing that we were going down with our media credentials before the game into the clubhouse, you have to realize it is not simply frowned upon to wear team gear as a member of the media when you're going down and covering a team.
Correct.
It is,
even on vacation,
it is forbidden, and it is embarrassing to do so. You look like a rank amateur. If you walked into the Padres clubhouse wearing a Padres hat and you're not part of the team, you're a poser. You are a faker. You can't do that.
Yeah, you literally can't do it.
There were legends down there like Tim Kirkjian, Jason Stark.
I would have been humiliated in front of the national media. And Paulie knows this, and so does Woods, who did not wear any Padres gear into the Padres clubhouse. So we're there as, at least for that moment in time, as professional members of the media, using our credentials to get access that we otherwise couldn't. So we're acting professionally. When we go out and become fans, Woods had the foresight to shove a hat into his bag.
No, into Paulie's bag. Had Paulie not brought a bag, I wouldn't have worn the hat. I swear to God.
Wear it during the game. Wouldn't have shoved it down your pants and snuck it in.
I wouldn't have walked in with it in my hand. Had Paulie not brought a backpack, I would not have thought of. If he goes, "Are you bringing a bag? You are? All right, let's throw this in there."
I said, well, you brought your bag to all the touristy stuff we did today, so I'll bring the bag to the game tonight because one of us should have a bag.
Well, also we needed a bag to smuggle the cheesesteak out in, and I didn't want it in mine. So Paulie said he would do it.
Could Paulie and I have done this? Yes, we could have.
But you didn't even think about it.
I didn't really think about it. Was there part of me going, I don't need to create a scene with Phillies fans by brazenly wearing Padres gear right there. I was fine. That's fine.
There was no conversation had about this.
There was not.
There was
not. I didn't really didn't think about it. I don't feel like I need to defend my Padres fan.
See, I don't either, and I that's what really bugged me. Is I'm like, do you guys that are talking do you know these guys? Like, we took a vacation to go see the team. That's fandom in and of itself. I'm no hero for literally going, hey, throw this in there. But I'll tell you, they were cool. The fans there were cool, and the guy they were really cool. And by the way, we cheered our ass off for the team when Jackson Merrill made that catch, that ridiculous catch in center field. The three of us standing, going, yeah, as he's running right towards us, going, let's go, F yeah! Like we went nuts. And it was great. I'll tell you, the fans there, they're fantastic. The guy walks by the very first interaction. Guy walks by, sees me in my hat. Young kid with his girlfriend, his buddy, and his girlfriend. Guy goes, you know you're in the bank, right? I go, yeah, I know I'm in the bank. He goes, all right, it's 1-0. I go, all right, congratulations, it's 1-0, big deal. And then
Gonna be a long flight back to San Diego.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long flight back to San Diego, pal. Here we go, yo. And so then we started getting our ass kicked, and it was over at that point. He just looks down at me. I go, hey, congratulations, you guys have a great team. This is a great ballpark. They were so cool. Nick says, if you're there on vacay, don't go into the media area. If you have a chance to go into the media area to say hello and show some
go into
face,
the clubhouse, go down on the field,
go talk to Ben Fritz for a while, and talk to Ruben, you take it. You take it every time, man. So again, don't question these guys' fandom. These guys were rooting their ass off.
Plus,
they always
get
do.
the cheesesteak.
Plus, we needed to get the cheesesteak. That's
happen.
the only way we could get it is down in there, and we did get the
famous
cheesesteak.
Visiting clubhouse cheesesteak, the one that they have competitions with players and staffers, how many they can eat during 1 3-game series. The record's 29.
Is that right?
Yeah.
There's no way.
Some visiting coach from the Washington Nationals or something. 29 of them over a 3-game or 4-game series.
I got to tell you, dude, we had our deep throat go get it for us, and he only got us 1. And that's all you needed. It's all you needed. He brought it out. He goes, here. He looks around. It was literally like buying crack or something. He's like, here, take it. Yeah, we take it. We run down the hallway. We find a little inlet, down in the bowels of Citizens Bank, like
the door to the electrical room. Okay, we're hiding here. No one's gonna find us.
Turn out of the main
boxes.
tunnel.
Yeah.
They're do turn out. We go down 2 steps. We find a radiator. We stick it on top of the radiator. We open it up, and there it sits. The most beautiful, hard to get cheesesteak. The only guys that have ever eaten it are big leaguers and staff. We're not supposed to have it. We're probably gonna get in trouble for getting it.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't even talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. So we sit down there and we're like, we have no knives, we have no forks, we have no napkins.
Let's go.
Let's get it. I go, all right, I'll break it in. And I bit into it. I went, oh my God, my knees are weak. So then Ben takes his bite, Paulie takes his bite. We just passed this thing around like a joint.
Exactly.
It was
How did you gain all the weight?
Like a big
meaty joint. Just filled with loose meat instead of loose
chomp pass.
That was it. It was like, here, your turn. Paulie gets it. Paulie gets it. Ben gets it. We pass it around. There's 1 bite left. We're all looking at each other. And Ben just goes, just take it. I go, thank you. And shoved it down my mouth. It was outstanding. It was outstanding. So, but then after that game is when we went out and we just got torn up.
First of all, just quick review of Citizens Bank Park.
Excellent.
While we were there, I thought it was
excellent.
Not Petco Park, but it was a solid big league ballpark. We walked around a little bit before the game, behind home plate. Saw some of the Phillies fans are good.
They're great,
fans, really good fans.
We're walking up. The usher goes, "Hey, I can't do the accent. It really bums me out." He's like, I like that kid Merrill. He goes, what a great player. We like him. Great catch. We were walking up to get a beer after that catch or something. They're very knowledgeable. They're very loud. The beer vendor was the greatest of all time. Dude kept walking up the aisles. He saw me in my hat. So I'm on the aisle, and he goes, cold beer for Phillies fans. Hot beer for Padres fans. And I laugh. He looks at me, he goes, I'm not joking. Hot beer for Padres fans. And Paulie goes, what if I buy everyone a beer? He goes, hey, I've heard that before. He goes, let me your credit card. Paul's like, never mind. It was incredible. We did take a picture of the cheesesteak. Paulie's got it somewhere. Eric wants to see it. It's outstanding.
They all
dude.
look kind of the
They
same.
all look the same, but
there's something though magical about eating it inside the bowels of Citizens Bank Park.
Well, you felt dirty doing it because
Yeah.
you knew you weren't supposed to have it. It was part of the allure of it. Was like, we're not supposed to have it. Adam Jones was texting Paulie that day, going, "Dude, if you can get your hands on one, you got to do it." We saw. So when we walked in, I think Kolek had pitched the night before. So he's like, yes. He was sitting at his locker. He had two on his plate. Just going to war on this thing. So
perfect timing. I'm not pitching this series. I'll
it
just
was
go ahead.
So good, dude.
Now, were they still in his gut when he took the mound this weekend? Possibly. I don't know.
Potentially.
Didn't throw his best game of the season.
No, definitely not. But man, the town of Philadelphia, none of us had ever really been there. And I think I went through it when I was a kid, but I don't remember any of it. It was awesome. It was awesome. It reminds me a lot of Chicago. Reminds you a lot of any real big city, right? With its little neighborhoods and, the little Italy and Chinatown, things like that. But the food there was spectacular. The people were really cool. They were really cool. They were very, now it wasn't the playoffs, right? They'd probably slit your throat during the playoffs, but it was really an excellent trip, and I would go back there anytime. I really would like to take my family to go see it. I got to say it again. I told these dudes, I said their gear is just outstanding. We went to Mitchell and Ness, saw the old Philly. They had every Phillies gear thing you could buy. I love the colors, the baby blue with the maroon. There's that cheesesteak. Oh, that's the one we got on the way to the airport. From Angelo's. That was out.
That was also
quite honestly, maybe even better.
1A.
It was right up there. I liked the seeded bun. Made a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It really was, and we needed it as a show. We really did. And I'm sorry for taking a week off. I get it. You guys are, we're part of your routine. We thank you for that. We gave you tons of praise as we were sucking down whiskeys and having a great time at the bar, but it was just a blast. It really was. It was really good bonding and epic trip. Epic. Couldn't have gone better.
And then we went out on Monday night.
Yes.
Painted the town red a little bit.
Yeah, we did. A little spiritual
Started
reset.
at the game thanks to John Marks. Bought some drinks there, and then we did our live stream and dive barred it up, and that was quite the evening.
It was epic, man. It was epic. We had such a great time. We still have a lot to tell you guys about, a lot to get to. Obviously, we want to talk some Padres baseball. What's their record since we left? 3-3.
Well, 4-5 actually.
4-5.
Since,
okay.
If you count all the way back to the Friday before last week. So they've just been treading water here for a month plus.
That's what they do.
Doing what they do. We'll see what they can do the rest of this homestand. We will certainly talk some Padres baseball. Set the menu for the return of Ben and Woods on a busy Monday morning. We'll get to that after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Good morning. Hope everyone had a great 4th of July weekend. Back to it on a Monday. Things are looking pretty quiet around the county. Just one thing to watch out for: stalled vehicle in the fast lane, south on 15, right before El Cajon Boulevard. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Yeah, we have a lot to get to today. It is Monday, so we will have our regular Monday guest joining us at 7:35. That means Craig Elsten's going to check in. We'll talk Padres baseball with the host of the Padres Hot Tub Podcast, and tough loss for SDFC over the weekend. They were up 3-2 late, gave up 2 goals to Houston, just their second ever home loss at Snapdragon Stadium. But still, they're an exciting team. They played a lot of fun matches so far.
I didn't want to tweet it because I didn't want to tweak the city that I love so much. But was that not the quintessential
tough night? San
Diego Saturday night. I mean, it was like, oh my God, Padres, SDFC. You're like, all right, well, we got to flush it and move on. But yeah, winnable game, and at least hang on for the draw, at bare minimum. But yeah, I mean, it was certainly an exciting one. We'll talk to Kreger about that.
And then at 8:35, our Linsider Dennis Lynn from The Athletic. We've been gone for 9 days. I'm surprised AJ Preller didn't pull something off already. We are in full-blown trade deadline season now. As July 31st approaches, the Padres still have massive needs in their lineup. Nothing has changed. This team is not good enough offensively to really be a contender at the end of the season. Could be, They could be with a couple of additions, a couple of guys that can get hot. If they get hot, they could be there. But right now, does anyone in this room disagree?
Not at all.
They're not good enough offensively, and they haven't been good enough offensively for many, many weeks since, probably the end of April.
The first 17 games or whatever, right?
And they have to get better, and they probably need an infusion for that to happen at some point, and it's got to happen now in the next 3 weeks before the trade deadline hits. So I think every day could potentially be the day from here on until July 31st. So we'll talk to Dennis Lin coming up at 8:35 about what the Padres are rumored to be doing. I heard Sean Murphy's name brought up on national MLB radio this morning. The Rays are apparently also interested to deepen the catching position, but they need a right-handed bat as well, someone who can hit left-handed pitching. I mean, too many lefties just shut down the Padres. I mean, when Patrick Corbin is shutting you down,
that's the one that murdered
it's
me.
a sign. It's something to change offensively for this team.
Yeah.
And we will see what they're going to do, but we'll talk to Dennis Lin, get our most, at least, of our Monday regular features. We want to squeeze in as many stories about our trip to Philly, but we got to talk Padres baseball in the weekend series that just was against the Texas Rangers, taking 2 out of 3. I mean, kind of the minimum, but got the job done with a nice performance last night, Woods, that we'll get into with all the highlights in our Padres Wrap-Up coming up in our next segment.
Man, we don't complain about wins, and we certainly don't complain about series wins, but it doesn't discount the fact that you are absolutely right. This team has needs. It's imminent. Like, the trade has got to be imminent, and he's been working it. That's the thing, is he's been working hard on it. Takes two.
We saw
to
him working it.
Yeah, we saw him
grab what looked like a very high-level phone call while we were in there in Philly, talking probably to another GM. So when we come back, though, Padres Rangers, Sunday Night Baseball. Padres get the win. We'll go through the highlights and some surprise all-star selections for your San Diego Padres announced yesterday as well. That is coming up next. Tier Ones, we are so glad to be back. Glad to have you back in our chats, on our radio, on our apps, all over the place on a Monday morning with Ben and Woods and Paul on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Well, as much as it's always fun to go away, it's great to come home knowing that I've got my delicious, nutritious Eco Water waiting for me. We've had the system in our home for a couple of years now. And listen, it's not just how it makes your body feel. It's what it does, hard water. And if you live in San Diego, you have it, right? It's silently wrecking your plumbing, your appliances, your water heater. If you ignore it, you may have to do an entire home repipe. About $24,000. No, just get the Eco Water system in your home. No more green gunk buildup on any of the shower heads in our home. And if it's doing that to your pipes, what is it doing to your body? So Eco Water's alkaline filters take hydration to the next level. We've got it. We love it. When your water is this pure, you can totally taste the difference. You can feel the difference. So try the Soft Life and alkaline water today, just $9.95 a month. Call 760-350-3338 or visit ecowatersocal.com. Let them know Woodsy sent you over there. Not everything in life should be hard, especially your water. Keeping it soft since 1925. Eco Water, your water should be perfect.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Before we jump into talking about last night's 4-1 win over the Texas Rangers, got some surprise news from Mike Shildt during his pregame scrum about tonight's starting pitcher.
You Darvish through the bullpen yesterday. Is there anything more you can share about what might be next for you?
I can. I think a lot of people will be interested. Darvish is going to start for us tomorrow.
Okay. What went into that decision to start him tomorrow, both from a physical and scheduling standpoint?
It really just comes down from a physical standpoint. You know, we always have an open day on the schedule for Hugh Darvish to start. So we're excited to have that happen. And, but, you know, it really does get back to him just checking all the boxes that, you know, leading into simulated games, recovering, bullpen, recovering, more simulated games, extended work, being able to hold velocity, being able to, you know, again, recover. And you know, threw aside yesterday was the last box that medical and him wanted to check before he was able to come back and pitch for us tomorrow.
Man, excited to see him back on the bump tonight.
I will first say, good job by Sam Levitt, who was clearly caught a little off guard by Mike Shildt. Now, I mean, we've been waiting so long.
No doubt.
Just feel like it's never going to come, that Yu Darvish is never going to make that season debut. And all of a sudden, it's happening, tomorrow? And Sammy kind of stops for a second. He goes, okay, and then asks a good question. Like, all right, what was the physical and scheduling, kind of that went into this? And as Mike said, we've always got an open spot for Yu Darvish. And I think they had obviously been thinking about this. If he came out of his bullpen side session well on Saturday, that's how you normally progress. You throw a certain number of innings, then you throw a side session. And if you feel good coming out of that, he's ready to go for a start on Monday. After the game, Mike Shildt said, probably looking in the 70 to 75 pitch range for Yu Darvish. So, if he's efficient, no reason he can't go 4 or 5 innings or, even longer tonight. We've seen a lot from you, but what do you now expect from Yu Darvish as we go forward? Because I think that's a very tough question to answer at this point.
I mean, honestly, man, I expect him to go out and do what pretty much all of our starters have done this season. You know, obviously a couple of guys notwithstanding, but like to keep us in a ball game. That's you, Darvish. I am not expecting him to go out and look like Zach Wheeler. I don't expect him to go out and throw, 105 pitches, CG, one hitter. No, I'm tempering my expectations that you, Darvish, is going to go out there and give you as many outs as he can and then turn it over to the bullpen, keep you in a ball game. Would be nice to see the offense explode a little bit, but we've been waiting for that for a while. And do they have the potential to do it? I kind of used to think they did. Now I'm finding myself wondering if they will ever all get hot at the same time again. Obviously, some guys have stepped up, but I don't expect much. I really don't expect him to keep us in a ball game. That's his job. That's it.
There's been talk about being careful with you when it comes to maximum velocity.
Yeah.
Hey, let's not overstrain the elbow, the forearm, whatever it is that has been bothering you. But if there's any pitcher in Major League Baseball who doesn't need his velocity to be successful, it really is you, Darvish, with the arsenal that he has, the craftiness that he has. I do fully expect you, Darvish, to be, as you said, not necessarily dominant every time out, but effective for the most part.
Yeah.
As we have seen time and time again since he has been a member of the San Diego Padres, you, Darvish, has by and large been effective when he has pitched, and sometimes even better than that. When he is really crisp and his pitches are moving and he's sharp with his command, he can be downright nasty. Still, at the age of 38, guy's going to be 39 next month. But he is back, and this is, to me, undoubtedly good news for the San Diego Padres. Another pitching arm and more starting rotation depth at a time in the season where you're starting to see it fray just a little bit. With Kolek getting sent down, and Mike Schultz said over the weekend, hey, this is a good time for him to take a little bit of a break, sending him down to AAA so he can get the All-Star break, a little extra time for the second half of the season. Berger kind of got his unintentionally by taking the line drive off the forearm. He should be coming back maybe even later this week, but this is the time where the Padres are kind of in desperate need for starting pitching. You'd love to see Michael King back, but this is still a huge addition for the Padres going forward.
Man, how about the little throwaway comment by Tim Kirkchin last night on the broadcast? I saw a couple of people tweeting about it. I had to go, wait, what did he just say? He was talking about Michael King. He goes, oh, man, Michael King was so great for this team. And, they're not going to get him back until late August, early September. And I go, what? Where did that info come from? Tim Kirkchin's a guy that's in the know. So I don't know what he's heard. I don't know if that is the case, but I have no idea. I have no idea that that's the case. But, I mean, I've talked to people in the organization. They're like, Michael King feels great. He feels great. Like he's ready. Like he's not ready to pitch yet.
It's going to have to be a build-up.
There's a build-up. Yeah, exactly.
How long is that going to take? Certainly sometime after the All-Star break. I thought late August sounded a little late, but...
Well, August, September, like late August, early September, that's a long time from now. I mean, technically.
It is after the break.
Technically, you're right. That if you want to get litigious about it...
Hey, boy, I told you it's going to be after the break.
Is that not after the break? Okay, yes, you were in fact right about that, but...
I tend to think if they can't know that he'd be ready in late August or September.
Correct. There's no.
If that's the case, then they don't know he's going to be ready at all.
Correct.
If they think he's coming back, and Michael King has been adamant that he is coming back, my guess would be it'd be a little bit sooner than that. I would think early to mid-August is more realistic right now, just to give him plenty of time to slowly work himself back up. But they can't possibly think he still needs, if he's throwing now, and he is, he's still going to need almost 2 more months of throwing. No one needs two months to get ready for a season.
Not if they're healthy and throwing.
That's more than spring training.
Right.
Yeah.
If he's healthy and throwing. And it's funny, man. I didn't share this with you guys, I don't think, but I had a tier 1 that was down on the field when the guys were out of town before the Philly trip. And Michael King was talking to some people that he knows. Like they were up in
Cincinnati.
And it was through the net. And the guy, he was like filming this thing. And the guy's like, how you feeling? He goes, I feel good. He goes, I'm ready to get back. And he goes, so what happened? He goes, dude, exactly what they said. I slept funny on my shoulder and I've been jacked up ever since. It's just one of those freak injuries that, like, of course. And again, I know we, come in and we lament the lack of offense. We lament, a guy that blows up in the bullpen, or lament a bad starting pitcher. Honestly, when you really look at it from 30,000 feet, it's pretty incredible this team is where they are right now. It really is. Like, it's not mind-blowing. They're not, super inspiring every single night. But to be where they are, still in this thing, it's pretty incredible losing a guy like Michael King at the top of your rotation.
Well, they got to the magic number last night, which is 4. They can get to 4. They're a pretty unbeatable team.
Right.
And it's not always easy, but they did it. We will go through the highlights. Our Padres Wrap-Up coming up right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Eliminate Termite, the orange oil experts. Got a few things to watch out for. Some wood debris in lanes, westbound 52 right before Convoy. Also in the North County, got a stalled big rig northbound 5 at the East 78 connector, and a collision Old Highway 395 at the 76. Couple vehicles involved. Does not appear to be blocking lanes. Have termites? Eliminate Termite inspects, treats, and repairs termite damage, all with a full structural warranty. Their orange oil treatment is safe for people, pets, and the planet. No tent, no move out. Protect your home naturally. Schedule a free inspection at eliminatetermite.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3. Be the Fan.
I love winning. You hear what I'm saying? It's like better than losing.
Miss any of the Padres win yesterday? Ben and Woods didn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got you covered with all of the highlights.
Oh, yes.
It's the
Padres Wrap-Up.
brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Things are about to get real with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, with gorgeous rooms and exciting new eats and drinks. It gets real this summer at Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
I want to go fast, but I want to go slow, and I want to go deep.
And a hard hit liner in the air up the right field side. That'll get down in a fair ball. And the one hop up against the base of the wall. Kind of kicks away from Tatis. Smith on his way home. He'll score. And Corey Seager standing at second with an RBI double. The Rangers have an early 1-0 lead. 1-2. Carter swings and misses, strike 3. And a 1-2-3 third for Hart. He caps it with a K. On his strike 2 arise. And Luis hits it hard on the ground up the middle. That's into center of the base hit. Fernando speeding around third on his way. He'll come in to score. Luis Arise, an RBI single, and a 1-1 game here in the third. And Fernando rips it on a line, fair up the left field side. Brooks round in third, he's going to score. Maldonado is speeding towards third. He's going to be waved by Tim Leeper. The throw comes into third, relay to the plate, the tag, and he's safe. Martin Maldonado just scored from first. And a 2-run double for Fernando as the Padres lead for the first time tonight. It's 3-1.
I think this one's going to be challenged.
Texas is challenging the safe call at home plate. After review, the call is overturned. The runner is out.
Ground ball left side, diving attack, can't get it. Smith couldn't reach it into left field. Bogart's on his way. The throw in the tag. It squirts away from Heim. He's safe. Both runners will advance behind the play, and the Padres add on. It's 3-1. Cronenworth swings, hits it hard on the ground up the middle into center. That's a base hit. Johnson speeding around third base. He'll come in to score. Jake Cronenworth, an RBI single, and the Padre lead is 4-1. 1-0 pitch is grounded to the right side. Cronenworth to his left. Funny hop, but he's got it. Slings it to first in time. And Robert Suarez, a 1-2-3 ninth inning to pick up his 25th save of the season. And the Padres take this series with a 4-1 win over the Texas Rangers.
More consistency of quality of bats. Some days don't have anything to show for it, but man, I loved our bats. We played really good, a lot of really good baseball. We pitched really well. We played defense, and that was well played all phases. We continue, which I'm confident we will, to do that offensively, take those at bats.
Padres are now 33-13 this season when scoring at least 4 runs. That's the magic number. You keep it at 3 or less, that record drops to 15-28.
Man,
so
it's the old. The Cowboys are 75-0 when Emmitt Smith touches the ball 25 times. Like, all right, first 25 plays going right to Emmitt Smith, dude. Like, it's Yeah, I mean, their bullpen has been really, really good this year. Been a couple instances, of blowing up, but that happens to every single team. I think the real star of the game last night, the absolute number one hero, GOAT from last night was Kyle Hart. Kyle Hart was absolutely fantastic last night. And I'll be honest with you, I could feel it in the entire city of San Diego. When you heard Kyle Hart was going to be used in that game, you weren't filled and brimming with confidence. You weren't. David Morgan almost killed all of us in the first inning. He literally almost gave me a heart attack in the first, but he got out of it with one run. Great play by Crony there. But, man, Kyle Hart coming in and going, 11 up, 11 down? Just absolutely shut the door on those guys. Was outstanding.
I did think that the usage, give credit to Mike Schilt and Ruben Niebla, and I'm sure A.J. Preller and the baseball operations team. But to decide to go with Morgan as the opener, as dicey as it was for his inning and a third, helped set up Hart for success. Yeah. Show them a really
firm,
hard-throwing right-hander, and then pull the rug out from under them and bring in a soft-tossing left-hander. That, I think, added to the effectiveness of Kyle Hart, who also gets a ton of credit. He was sharp. He was, his pitches were moving. His location was good, and he was able to shut down that lineup and give the Padres a chance to win that game. They didn't score a ton, but once they got it then to the back end of their bullpen, they were able to pull it off.
You could see the work that he's put in last night. You really could. And the sweeper that he threw last night was outstanding. He threw it 45% of the time last night. His sinker was better as well. So he's put in the work, and you saw the results last night. 11 up, 11 down against that lineup. I looked at that lineup, and I go, how do these guys lose a ton? I mean, they got good hitter after good hitter. They got stars on the team. They got guys that are imposing when they get in the box. Like they hit the ball hard, but Kyle Hart just completely had them flummoxed last night. It was outstanding.
Luis Arraez, 8 hits in the series.
It's pretty good.
Looking a little more like Luis Arraez, including the game-tying RBI single in the bottom of the third inning. Thought it was very interesting in the fourth inning when the Padres had another chance to score, and they knocked. Good job, by the way. They didn't ever totally crack Jack Leiter.
No, but they worked him.
They worked him hard.
They worked
made him throw so many pitches that Boch, had to take him out. And I thought it was very interesting that when Boch went for his reliever with Latz, the lefty, that he brought in a lefty to face Tatis, which no one would have ever done in the first years of Fernando Tatis's career. But he has been so bad against lefties this year. Boch
probably the right call.
That it was probably the right strategy. And of course, someone finally tries it out, and Fernando makes him pay. The newly minted All-Star, Fernando Tatis Jr., gets his third All-Star selection and promptly rips the double down the line to give the Padres the lead. It was a 3-1 lead for a few seconds until they went and reviewed the play, and Martin Maldonado, with the perhaps longest ever first to home time rounding the bases, gets thrown out.
Clocked in at 74 seconds. So I saw a lot of people upset about the send. He was out by a foot. Right now, you can argue blocking the plate all day.
He was out by a foot after they missed the cutoff man.
Correct.
As well.
Correct. They Marcus Semien with a really heads up play there to pick that ball up, and the not so fleet of foot Martin Maldonado out at home plate by a foot. Now, I saw a lot of people, including yourself, Benny, talking about blocking. The way they described it on the broadcast last night, I think Jessica Mendoza was the one that described it, and I went, all right, I guess it makes sense. He was positioned with his foot in front of home plate, right? Just 1 foot in front of home plate to catch the throw. The ball takes him towards the line and the path. Once you have the ball, you can be anywhere you want to be, correct? That's what they said on the broadcast. Once I saw it again, I go, all right, fine. Now, if you're standing there and you're, how they get right in front of home plate and there's no lane whatsoever, and the ball's coming in from maybe your right field or second base, it's different entirely. This is coming down the same line he's running.
I think what I'm ultimately mad about is not that play. That's how it's supposed to be ruled.
Yeah.
It's the two plays, the one against the Giants where the Padres literally did the same thing. Further up the line,
Correct.
Grabbed the ball, it took him into the line.
The one in the San Francisco, I've never seen anything
that
like
made
it.
no sense whatsoever.
That's what's
and
killing
I'm just
us.
looking for some consistency, but
They don't have
that
it.
shouldn't be how it's ever ruled.
It's also crazy when you're watching it in super slow motion.
Right.
You're like, okay, see, that's where he's supposed to grab the ball from his right side and then turn
Do a
and
flip.
then determine the lane. And you're like, yeah, it's a lot easier to like go through it step by step in super slow motion. It's so much to ask for both the base runner
And the
catcher in real time. The catcher, like, I feel so bad for them no matter what team they're on. Like,
It's a coin flip.
it is a lose-lose situation for you. You got to track the ball, catch it, get into position. Like, it is so much going on, and it's so fast.
Well, there's just, like Ben said, there's no consistency with it.
Like, what is the rule? We don't know. Nobody knows.
Man, I'm seeing it. I watch a pretty fair amount of baseball, other teams as well. And I'm just not seeing it called a lot on any base. Remember last year it was the knee drop. You couldn't do the knee drop on the slide down to second base. I'm seeing guys dropping their knees almost every night, and it seems like it's not getting called very much at all. So I think, even if we asked Mike Schilt about it on Friday, I don't know that the manager of the Padres, could give you a real clear answer on it. Go get the ball, try to get the tag on is really the only rule.
Fortunately, it turned out not to matter as
Yeah.
the Padres added on Martin Maldonado with the seeing eye RBI single in the bottom of the sixth. If that is 1 foot in either direction, he's out of first base and the inning's over. But Padres got a little lucky there. And then Jake adding on in the bottom of the seventh with a sharp RBI single. Really good series for Jake Cronenworth offensively
And
throughout
defensively.
the weekend. And defensively as well. Saved the game in the first inning with
did.
The diving catch. Made a lot of nice plays. Jake looking very sharp. And then, of course, as you mentioned, the bullpen getting it done with Jeremiah Estrada in the sixth, the newly minted first-time All-Star Jason Adam.
Good for him, man.
Pitching the seventh. And some people were commenting, hey, they brought in Adam earlier. Does this mean that Morahone's now the setup guy in the eighth? I think it's going to be depending on lanes.
Yeah, the lane.
He had some right-handed guys, set it up well for then Morahone to get their big left-handed guys in the eighth inning. Had the lineup been in a different place, you might have seen Morahone first, and then Adam. Some flexibility from Mike Schilt there with his high leverage guys at the back of the bullpen, and then really nice, looked like vintage Robert Suarez last night. Like after all the struggles, like where was this guy? He hits the corners, hits 100, was untouchable last night. Resting
heartbeat of about 60 last night for Robert Suarez, coming in just throwing dimes everywhere. It was great. But Croney, with he's one of those players that, like, I think he gets a unfair knock from a lot of the fan base. The guy right now this season, Benny, with runners in scoring position, Jake Cronenworth, OPS of 815, 131 WRC plus for Croney right now. And I got to tell you, man, I feel way comfortable with him at first. I feel way comfortable with him at second base. He's hitting in the 8 hole right now. Like, you can't ask for better than that right now.
We will talk about Jake's walk-off a little bit later as we go through some of the earlier games in the series. I do want to
he bailed us out that night.
Couple of more comments on the All-Star selection. So Fernando Tatis Jr. did make it, pretty much based on his incredibly hot start to the season. He has been slumping for months, but he will be going and participating in the All-Star game. He did say to our friend Annie Heilbrunn that he is not going to compete in the home run derby. He says he's been dealing with some oblique cramping, and the last thing he wants to do is try to put together 90 home run swings all at once during a home run derby. So he's not going to participate, but he will be there in Atlanta. He had already made vacation plans and had to cancel them. He didn't think he was going, and then he got voted in by the players. Was the sixth of the six that get in from the player vote, but did make it to the All-Star game.
Are we seeing, is that growth from Fernando Tatis Jr. saying I can't risk the second half of our season? Now,
that's what I wanted to hear.
It's exactly what I want to hear. As much as I would love to see that man in a home run derby, I would love it, because he could absolutely uncork balls to left field in Atlanta. No question. Think about the show he could potentially put on. The second half of the season is way too important. And if your oblique is already jacked up and it's already cramping, I think it's so wise and prudent to pass on that. And you're seeing a lot of guys do it right now. Pete Alonso not doing the home run derby, which is shocking.
He lives for the home run derby.
He said he wants the break.
Jason Adam was also voted in by the players,
Yeah.
which tells you something about how difficult he is to face.
Correct.
I think actual like hitters do not like facing Jason Adam with that short arm release and the pitch combinations that he throws. Was Adrian Morejon more effective in the first half? Yes. If you're just giving the most effective pitcher. Did Robert Suarez lead the National League in saves right now? Yes. That usually gets you into the All-Star game, but I'm not going to complain about Jason Adam and the players honoring him and saying, this is the guy I don't want to face in the eighth inning. So
good for him.
Credit to Jason Adam.
His road to the All-Star game is pretty spectacular. That guy has almost walked away from baseball like 3 times. The fact that he's an All-Star, it was cool. One of the parts of our trip when we were waiting at the Philly airport for 2 hours for our bags, not just us, the entire plane, we were actually sitting with Jason Adams' wife and Dylan Cease's girlfriend, chopping it up with them and getting a chance to meet her. I thought of that immediately, like, hey, babe, I'm going to be an all-star.
Guess what? We're going to Atlanta.
After his road to that is just outstanding. So congratulations.
Also, a potential additional Padre could be added to the All-Star game. We can talk about that when we come back, plus the other games of the series. Padres take 2 or 3 from the Rangers next on The Fan. So Padres sending 3 players to the All-Star game. By the way, congratulations to Manny Machado. That happened while we were gone as well. Voted as a starter for the 4th time in his career. 7th overall trip to the All-Star game for Manny Machado, and extremely deserving of the honor to start for the National League next week in Atlanta. Fernando Tatis Jr. and Jason Adam announced yesterday that they will be joining Manny in Atlanta. I do think there is still a chance, after looking at the names of the starting pitchers that were announced for the National League, that Nick Pivetta could still get added to the roster. His first half has been sensational. Now 9-2 with a 3.25 ERA, 2.6 WAR, so he's right in there with Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Robbie Ray, Logan Webb, all stars themselves. Mackenzie Gore, obviously the Phillies guys like Zach Wheeler right at the top of the list, but you always lose a few starting pitchers at the end, guys who throw on that Sunday or guys who aren't available for whatever reason, and they could add someone like Nick Pivetta. Now, Paulie pointed out, Nick Pivetta is, I believe, scheduled to pitch tomorrow, which if they wanted to, they could pitch him on Sunday as well and bring him back for a second start. Or the Padres could bring back Ryan Bergert, and with Yu Darvish being added to the rotation as well, they may not need Nick Pivetta again in the first half of the season, which would probably make him available for the All-Star game. So just a possibility that the Padres could get one, or maybe even a Robert Suarez or an Adrian Morejon if another pitcher is needed as well out of the bullpen.
Should be an interesting one, man. The rosters are obviously stacked. It's an all-star game, and so many first-time guys getting a shot, which I do love. And it's going to be, it's weird. Juan Soto did not make the all-star team. He's come on really hot as of late for the New York Mets.
How about Seiya Suzuki, maybe a bigger snub even than Juan Soto?
Seiya was probably the biggest snub. I think he's at 25 bombs and 76 RBI, and we're not even at the All-Star break. We still have a week left. I mean, the guys could be at 85 RBI before the break. Like, pretty good start to the season, on pace for 50 some odd home runs.
We were texting about it a little yesterday, and I was saying, like, I think you guys kind of agreed with me. Like, it's a delicate balance between who statistically is an all-star worthy caliber player, and then there's the superstars, the popularity contest, the voting. I'm like, I look at it, and I'm not huge on the All-Star game as much as I used to be anymore, but I want to see the superstars. I don't care if Aaron Judge misses all of April and all of May and has a slow June coming back from an injury. If he wants to play in the All-Star game, I want him there.
But see, conversely, I like that Jonathan Aranda from the Rays gets in. And like, he's having a monster season. Nobody knows who he is. You know what I mean? Right. I love that he gets his first look.
Like, if you want to say Tatis doesn't deserve to be there, he hasn't played that great. He is a superstar. He was built for moments like that.
Built for the All-Star game.
It's good for the game. It's good for the Padres. It's good for him.
I think it's cool Javi Baez is in. I think that guys like Chris Bubik, like, yes, they're no-name guys, but for them, they're friggin' all-stars, right? You never take that away from him. I think it's really special, and I'm really, really proud of our guys. And yeah, like you said, there's still a couple guys that could still get in and probably should have gotten in. I'm looking at it going, I don't see anybody that absolutely should not be. I know people are saying Julio Rodriguez with they said if you have an OPS that starts with a 6, you probably shouldn't be in over some guys. Okay, that's fine. I'll listen on that. But again, Julio Rodriguez is a budding superstar, so I don't really have that big of a problem with it. It's an all-star game. Let's have some fun. But it's cool. Like, Kyle Stowers gets in, and Matthew Boyd at 34 years old.
I think they could do away with the rule that every team needs one all-star.
God, wouldn't you feel left out if you're like the White Sox? You don't send anybody.
Hunter Goodman's not a bad choice for the Rockies. They need a catcher on the National League to back up Will Smith. So, Hunter Goodman's had a good first half of the season. So I'm not particularly
probably going to get a lot of PT, actually.
Calling him out. Yeah, he will definitely be in the game for sure.
Probably catch 8 innings, to be honest. If I'm Dave Roberts, he's catching 8 innings.
But other than that, I don't think it was any huge mistakes on the All-Star game rosters.
It's fun.
Rest of the weekend for the Padres and the Rangers. Of course, Saturday night, the Kyle Higashioka game. You can set your clock. I'm not a big believer in such things, but at some point you can't deny it anymore. Ex-Padres kill the Padres.
Sure.
And maybe
it happens every
maybe when you're in Cincinnati and an ex-Red comes to town, they torch you too.
I think you'd be surprised.
I can't speak to that, but I certainly can speak to the fact that ex-Padres come back and torment the Padres without fail. And I saw so many people going, you shouldn't have let Kyle Higashioka go. It was his second home run of the season. He's not He has not been a world beater. I mean, the numbers say that A.J. Preller made a very smart decision to let the Rangers overpay for a backup catcher in Kyle Higashioka. It doesn't sting any less, though, when he comes in and drives in five
stakes for him.
Single-handedly carries the Rangers to a 7-4 win over the Padres on Saturday night.
It doesn't make you feel any better. I love Higgy. I tweeted it last night. Far and away, the nicest big leaguer I have ever met. And it's not close, right? Like, you covered Hoffy when he was a big leaguer. I'm talking about guys that are big leaguers, right? Trevor Hoffman's the nicest Hall of Famer I've ever met. It's not particularly close. But Kyle Higashioka is an active player, the nicest guy ever. He was good here. He fit here. You heard Fernando talking about him last night on the broadcast, how much he loved Higgy. For $6.5 million. Now, who's to say his numbers wouldn't be better if he had played here? You know what I mean? He's in a different place, different
Certainly
system.
likes Petco Park.
He loves Petco Park.
Which I think is part of it. Petco Park is a place that makes players feel comfortable, whether they're playing for the Padres or coming back after playing for the Padres and getting to enjoy that ballpark again. That's probably at least some of why former Padres do so well against their ex-teams.
Yep. He was great. Look, it sucks when he gets you, but it's good for Higgy. I love Higgy.
Real quick, I was at the game on Saturday, and pretty cool moment. Before the game, they had the ceremonial first pitch, and it was, I forget her name, I apologize, but it was Eric Shaw's widow came out to throw out the first pitch. And when Alex Miniak on the PA said, and behind home plate, or stepping behind home plate, his friend, his teammate, his catcher, Bruce Bochy, got behind the plate, tried to squat down for one last catch, and got to be the recipient of the ball. It was a pretty cool moment inside the ballpark.
I heard them talking about Eric Shaw on the broadcast, and I was talking to some buddies in a group chat, and I said, I didn't know that he passed away of an overdose.
It was dark.
So I went and I Googled Eric Shaw, and there is an ESPN article. I'll tweet it. It took me about 50 minutes to read. It is incredibly long, but there are quotes in it from Boch, from Flan, from Mark Grant. Grant Mudd was talking about him on the broadcast as well.
I know Dravecki was super close with him.
Yes, dude. Oh, what a piece. What a piece. What an article this was about Eric Shaw. I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was staggering. What he was up to.
His dad beat him if he didn't perform well on the field.
He did.
Yeah, staggering story.
He was on meth at the end of his career, pitching on methamphetamine. I mean, it was just heartbreaking and heart-wrenching. I did not know that she came out to throw the first pitch. That's incredible.
It's really cool, man.
The article it's staggeringly well done. Staggeringly well done.
Yeah, and he had some off the field, weird stuff. John Birch decided. All of this traces back to a childhood, that was filled with trauma growing up, and the story of just him getting to the major leagues and being as good of a pitcher as he was pretty incredible. I didn't see that part of the game on Saturday at school that they did that was right before and have him out there.
But, I mean, he's the one that gave up the hit to Pete Rose.
Sat down on the mound,
and it was the whole rotation was like, oh God, I hope it's not me. I hope it's not me. And I think Dravecki pitched his ass off and didn't do it. The next guy pitched his ass off and didn't do it, and everyone knew, oh no, it's going to be Shao. And they're talking about how TK, Terry Kennedy, who we always see at camp, we're talking about, man, it was like a black cloud around this guy. It was really, really tough. Flan had some really, really insightful comments too. The article is incredible. I'm tweeting it as we speak.
It was a frustrating night though. I was hoping Stephen Kolek at home against Patrick Corbin would be a nice game where the Padres would have the advantage. Didn't turn out that way. Kolek battled for 5 1/3 innings, but gave up 9 hits, 6 earned runs, was hit pretty hard throughout the game, only got 2 strikeouts. And Corbin, other than the 2-run homer he gave up to Jake Cronenworth, Jake off a lefty, was really, really good, mixing his speeds, and a guy who's known essentially for being the highest ERA pitcher in baseball over the last decade, pretty much, just an innings eater that, throw him out there for 6 and he'll give up 4 or 5 runs, and, you move on to the next guy. He held the Padres in check, and that was one of the more frustrating games of this past week for me.
Yeah, it's the one that you definitely look at and go, man, crap, we got Leiter going against us. Who threw
on Friday was Kumar Rocker.
Yeah, Kumar Rocker. You got some guys going there throwing
you thought,
gas.
all
You're
right,
like, all right, well,
Saturday
at
you
least
got Corbin.
we'll
You
get
got-
Corbin. And when you get Rocker and you beat him that night, you're like, okay, now we're set up. And yeah, you just couldn't get anything going.
10
I mean,
runners left on base.
crafty
including
lefty, dude. We'll get you every
0 for
time.
3 for Xander with runners in scoring position with bases loaded. Couldn't come through there in a big situation after they had pulled within 2 at 6-4. It was just a frustrating night overall at the ballpark on Saturday. However, Friday was pretty cool with the Padres sneaking out the walk-off win on Jake Cronenworth's single to right field in the bottom of the 10th inning. That was a nerve-wracking game. I was at work on Friday night anchoring, watching it really on the set. Well, if you watch me at all in the news, I had my phone. I was watching the game as I was doing the news because I did not want to miss what happened at the end. And that was a really kind of nerve-wracking game the whole way through. Randy Vasquez was pretty good.
Yep, as usual.
6 innings, couple of runs, 8th straight no decision. Mr. No Decision, Randy Vasquez goes out there and
keeps you in it, man.
Keeps you in the
game.
game.
Just keeps you in games.
Manny, of course, had the solo home run. He is now up to 1,998 career hits.
That was bodied.
That was the longest home run by a Padre all season long.
bodied.
400. He just absolutely tattooed the ball off Kumar Rocker. Padres didn't really get much to Rocker, though. 5 1/3, 4 hits, and 2 earned runs for him. But another good performance by the bullpen guys with Estrada, Adam, and Suarez coming in with 3 innings, and then Adrian Morejon with the top of the 10th, and then gave the Padres that chance to win. It was kind of lucky. It was bloop single by Sheets, and then the bloop single, and then Xander Bogaerts comes out of the game after 1 pitch with the cramp. That was weird.
God, dude.
I mean, cramping is bad. I get it. But
The part for me that murdered me, and Jake Cronenworth, everybody owes that guy a big fat steak dinner. Luis Arraez, who had a monster series, 8 hits in the series. That dude will sacrifice bunt in the first on a Tuesday game against the Reds. You're like, Toddy will get on, and back when it was Tatis Arraez, Toddy will get on. And you'll see Luis try to drag bunt. Now you got first and second, nobody out. And he's up there swinging and pitching everywhere. Did he K?
He did.
He K'd. I'm like, oh, my God. World's greatest contact hitter decides, I'm not going to. Why wouldn't you sacrifice in the 10th after we just shut them down the top? I was pulling my hair out, man.
I did, but if he had sacrificed, then they would have walked.
That's okay.
Sheets.
A fly ball wins it.
And it would have gone.
Fly ball wins it.
Yeah, I mean.
Fly ball wins it. That's all you need. You shut them down in the 10th. You have the first 2 guys on.
Play possibility. That's not the worst outcome for the Rangers.
Nobody out, though. There's
situation.
nobody out. But
there would have been 1 out then.
Fine.
Because of the
but
sacrifice.
There was first and second.
It would have been an intentional walk.
First and second, nobody out.
You would have Bogaerts with the bases loaded.
And Pop fly wins it. Pop fly wins it. Fly ball wins it.
And then he would have left the game for Bryce Johnson to strike out.
Correct.
And they won it anyway. Jake
bailed us out so hard. Because again, then with all the maneuvering that Schulte had to do, they were going to put Crony. They would have to put Crony at short, and Fernando was going to go in and play second. After that is what he said. It was a cluster. I mean, it was a total cluster. Jake literally bailed the entire city, his manager, and his teammates out. I couldn't believe it. I love Arraez. I always trust him to do what he thinks he needs to do. Fine. If you don't want to bunt there, that's okay. Stop bunting in the 3rd inning against the Nationals in a 2-run game. Like, that's what I just did not understand. I feel like sometimes the wheels just come off.
We are back, and so is Don't Do This. We'll get to our stories when we come back, including an email I got when I was gone that is for this series against the Arizona Diamondbacks that starts tonight. Maybe the worst promotion I have ever been made aware of by a Major League Baseball partner. We'll get to that and more coming up next with Ben and Woods after a check of traffic on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
First, though, Ben and Woods want to tell you about 7 Mile Casino. It's our place to play cards right down the 5 freeway in Chula Vista. I was there just before our vacation a couple of weeks ago, having a really nice lunch at Sammy's inside the 7 Mile. There's always good action, high limit action. People just out having a good time playing cards at all hours of the day at 7 Mile.
That's exactly right. It's a smoke-free environment as well, so nobody blasting Pall Malls in your face as you're sitting just trying to play some cards, have a good time. They got great Texas Hold'em room there as well. They got Pai Gow and Baccarat up by the bar area.
That was so weird because in Philly, there were still a couple of bars where you could smoke inside. It was
Inside, it was
weird.
so weird, man. That you cannot do that at 7 Mile Casino. Which, you go to Vegas, you can go to any casino, you can smoke, wherever,
Yeah.
but not at 7 Mile, smoke-free environment. Also, no slot machines, just ping, ping, ping the whole time. You're gonna have a good time. You're gonna have really, really great food and just a good, fun atmosphere.
Yeah, enjoy the patio right there on San Diego Bay. It is right off the 5 freeway. You get off, I believe it's E, and then you stay on Bay Boulevard on the west side of the freeway. Just head on down and make it today, make it later this week, whenever. 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Oh, so good to be back. As is DDT, brought to you by Trust and Will.
Don't.
You remember.
I did.
Leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die.
Do.
Set up a Trust or Will online at trustandwill.com.
This
is a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info. All right, I'm going to kind of let this email just stand on its own.
Sure.
I received this during our break. It has to do with the 4-game series the Padres begin tonight against the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's from a woman named Allie. PR rep. Get ready, San Diego. As the Arizona Diamondbacks roll into town next week to face the Padres, all eyes will be on the Diamondbacks' Eugenio Suarez.
Okay. Good season. Yeah.
This is a message to San Diego.
This is to San Diego.
Get ready,
Message to
San Diego. Strap in.
And
Eugenio's coming to
addressed
town.
to a San Diego sportscaster. He's already hit 3 Grand Slams this season, making him the current MLB Grand Slam leader. Denny's, the home of the iconic Grand Slam breakfast, is fueling the anticipation with a special, quote, he hits 4, you get $10 offer.
Oh, it rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? It's the old he hits 4, you get $10 off.
God,
So
I must have
here's the
spent
offer.
days thinking of that.
If Suarez hits his 4th Grand Slam while playing in San Diego, the first 100 fans to snap a photo of their game ticket at the stadium and tag at Denny's Diner on Instagram will receive a $10 Denny's gift card. Are you interested in covering? I'm happy to provide more details or answer any questions. Answer any questions. Like, I don't know, you want Padres fans
We're rooting
at
for.
sold-out Petco Park to cheer for Eugenio Suarez to hit a grand slam.
To get $10.
So they can get $10 off at Denny's. That's what you want.
Oh, man.
A whopping 100 people, too.
100.
Yes. Not for everyone in attendance.
Thanks for pulling up $1,000, Denny's, for your promotion for Eugenio Suarez.
Oh, my.
I couldn't believe this.
All right. You know it's happening now. I mean, you know it's happening.
Probably
right?
tonight.
Probably tonight.
Yeah.
Please not off you. Please not off you, Darvish. That's all I'm begging you. Not off of
my
you, Darvish.
God.
Well, listen, if it does happen, don't forget to snap a photo of your ticket.
Tag at Denny's Diner on
Denny's
Instagram
Diner.
and go enjoy half of a breakfast on Eugenio Suarez.
If it was sent to the people of Arizona, it makes sense. For San Diego, it should be if you keep him from hitting a grand slam, you'll get $10 off. That's
Right,
that's
Padres haven't hit a grand
Right.
slam. If they hit one, how about everybody in attendance gets $10 off at Denny's? By the way, just 100 people.
That's spectacular. It's a spectacular email. It's a terrible idea.
Just ridiculous.
No one's going to root for it in San Diego. Their division rival. Like, these are huge
I know the
games.
Padres are up 6-3 in the ninth, but the bases are loaded. And here comes Eugenio Suarez to the plate.
I almost hate that you spoke it into existence because I just feel like it's definitely going to happen now. So don't forget to take a picture of your ticket that doesn't exist.
Yeah, nobody
Your
paper ticket,
paper ticket, and then send it to Denny's and get your $10 off.
Just
of the
so wrong on so many levels, Denny's.
Well,
wrong.
let's talk about the only oral that nobody likes. It's Oral Hershiser of the Los Angeles Dodgers. He was calling the game this week, and they did not have a good time up in LA. What a history between those two teams. The World Series that the Astros won, I think fair and square. To be honest, won that fair and square. Just happens. They went into LA this weekend with a ragtag bunch of guys, man. Guys are banged up for them. Christian Walker, why we didn't sign him to hit against the Dodgers is beyond me. That's a D for AJ Preller because he owns the Dodgers. Hit a bunch of home runs. Altuve went nuts
8 or something against the Dodgers. Crazy.
They won 18-1 on Friday night. And of course, the Dodgers just can't get beat. You can ever just lose a game. You get stuff like this.
This was the 4th of July home game for the Dodgers,
Correct.
by the way. And they punted.
Yeah, punted.
With another extra base hit for the Astros. Double homer double to open third against Casparius.
I don't want to open an old wound, but in some ways they're swinging at these breaking balls like they know what it's coming. That is not a bad pitch. It's really a very good pitch. Low and away, probably would end it up.
I don't want to open an old wound, but I'm not only going to open it, I'm going to jump up and down inside of it while I do it. And so, yeah, I mean, look, it was spectacular. We absolutely needed that to happen in LA. You know, it was nice to see them wear it a little bit because they've been playing really good baseball. They're a really good team that's about to get a whole lot better. So, yeah, just nice to watch your bully, you know, get a black eye every now and then.
And the Astros, you said, are 20 games above 500.
20.
Remember, they were terrible at the beginning of the season
Bro,
when the Padres played them.
Tucker,
What have they
Bregman,
done?
I don't understand the voodoo Houston magic. I really don't get it. They are 20 games up. They are cruising in their division. How did they do it? How? Christian Walker's been terrible.
They don't
for
keep
them.
they don't keep their big time free agents
No.
generally.
I don't understand it. I looked and I went, how can this be? And they go into LA. And so, I mean, Shohei I think he had one hit the entire series, pitched really well for his 2 innings that he pitched, but I just don't understand it, man. I don't understand how they're 20 games over 500 right now and feeling great. I mean, feeling great, looking really, really good, and probably going to make some moves at the deadline.
Finally, little do this for a Monday.
DD mega doo-doo.
Now, we already talked about the Padres All-Star selections, but one of our favorite things is always when the manager gets to make the announcement. And, of course, the Padres had the video crew ready for Mike Schilt yesterday to reveal the good news. But there's also, for our YouTube streamers, a bit of a secret do this in the background.
Easter egg.
Keep an eye on you, Darvish. And if you're just listening right now on the radio or the app, we'll fill you in at the end of Mike Schilt's comments.
We're working our tails off. You guys are doing amazing. We're on a good trajectory. We're going to be just fine. We're going to do a lot of celebrations as a team. But through a team sport, individual accomplishments happen. We've already celebrated Manny making the All-Star team. Well deserved. We also have a couple guys we'd like to announce and celebrate. A couple guys that didn't make the All-Star team that hopefully something will break for them. But no particular order, making his first All-Star appearance, Mr. Jason Adam. I love you guys. Should be maybe his 5th or 6th, but back-to-back All-Star years, his 3rd in total. Our man Ty.
Love you guys. I mean, love you all. Everybody know how hard this game is, ups and downs, but we're in this together. So let's keep going, and just the beginning.
Good stuff, of course.
Great stuff.
But if you were watching, standing right behind Mike Schilt, wearing not the one that we have in the studio here, but
Different
an
ones.
entirely
The one we brought him this
different
year.
Yep.
Ben and Wood shirt is our beloved Yu Darvish.
It never gets old. Look, I told my wife, I go, he doesn't have the foggiest idea. But he likes those shirts. So
It's soft. It's in his locker.
You keep wearing them. I'll keep giving them to you because it makes my
and
heart.
I'll keep choosing to believe that you're a beloved tier
Oh,
one,
yeah.
devoted listener.
We should create a specific
special
Yu Darvish shirt
for just him.
For Yu Darvish, a Ben and Woods. This shirt belongs to you.
For our number. Yes, this shirt belongs to you with Ben and Woods logo.
Done.
Paulie, all right, get on it. And then we'll take it down to him. He loves the shirts. I don't know why. It makes no sense to me. I don't care, though. As far as I know, when I'm dead and gone, if Yu Darvish goes into the Hall of Fame, like we'll have a Hall of Famer who used to rock our shirts regularly. It's It's on a baseball card. It's the coolest thing ever. I never get tired of it. I love him so much. I just want him to go out and shove tonight.
And I'm not sure if I caught Mike Schilt looking at the shirt. What are you wearing?
What is that? You really wear those dip S's? Man, the heads are already big enough. I don't need any more. Man, I loved it. He's the best.
And that is don't and do this for a Monday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, when we come back, Craig Elsten will join us. First chat in a couple of weeks. Not only Padres hot tub, but tough one for SDFC on Saturday night against the Houston Dynamo. That is all coming up next year on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Good morning, gang. I wanted to tell you about the great work that they're doing over at QC Kinetics. Of course, it's Woodsy, and you know that I am a long-time patient of QC Kinetics. And, you know, if something comes up on my body now, joint pain, knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, I know exactly where I'm going first. I'm not going to my family doctor. I'm not even going to the orthopedic surgeon. I'm going straight to QC Kinetics to see if I'm a fit, because what they did for me It changed my life completely. Got our season starting again on Sunday. Paulie and I are going to be back out on the diamond, swinging it tonight. Got a little workout scheduled. Like I couldn't do it without QC Kinetics because my wrists were in such bad shape, didn't know what was going on, and their cellular treatments, which contain growth factors and healing properties to maximize my body's ability to heal itself. It's exactly what they did for me. Guys, 92% of patients report satisfaction with their results. That's not just a number. It's peace of mind that you're exploring something that's truly working for people like you. Real results, let you move easier, live better, do all the things that you love to do, man. I would be lost without being able to play baseball with my friends on Sunday, lift weights, work out. It's what life is all about, actually. Call QC Kinetics today. Locations in Hillcrest and Torrey Hills, 619-614-PAIN, 619-614-PAIN. I'm going to give it to you one more time, 619-614-PAIN. It is QC Kinetics.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
Into some more baseball talk coming up here, including pretty shocking firing of a manager and a GM last night in the National League.
You had some good insight on that I did not know about.
I did learn something about the firing of Mike Rizzo and Dave Martinez with the Washington Nationals, and we'll talk about that coming up. But we got Craig Elsten standing by, our weekly conversation. Padres Hot Tub, SDFC, all coming up after Kelly's Traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Two separate accidents north 805, one right before the 54, blocking the two right lanes up ahead before the King Freeway accident being cleared over to the right shoulder. Southbound 805 past Market Street, stalled vehicle over to the right shoulder. Also traveling on eastbound 52 before Mast Boulevard. We have reports of some debris in the two left lanes. Westbound 78, an accident in the clearing stage just before Emerald. That's over to the right shoulder. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And joining us right now, our friend, the host of the Padres Hot Tub podcast, much more, including Crossing Streams. Craig Elsten is back with us here on 97.3 The Fan. Good morning, Craig, after our week off. Good to see you again.
Yeah, morning, fellas. Enjoyed all of the Instagram posts and stories.
It's a wild.
Like you had yourself a blast.
We did. It's a wild city.
We have some more audio coming up shortly that you want to stay tuned for as well.
Fantastic. I mean, just fantastic.
We've saved some of the good stuff.
Yeah. You know how you do. Save it for a little more prime time. But man, what a I didn't want to tweet it because I felt as bummed as everybody. I don't like to be the guy that's like, well, there we go again, typical San Diego. But it really was a typical San Diego Saturday night. It really sucked. And SDFC has done such a good job at avoiding the typical San Diego Saturday night, Craig, until this past Saturday.
Boy, it was a frustrating game to be sure because, let's be clear, San Diego FC has one of the best offenses in MLS. They might have the best offense in MLS, and they've been doing it even on Saturday night with Chucky Lozano restricted to about, 30 minutes or so, 30, 40 minutes in that match. You understand why he's coming back from the hamstring. You want to be careful, but we really still haven't seen a whole match. Lasky, Dreyer up top and see what they can do. In limited time, they score goals. They create and score goals. And, once Chucky came in, the SDFC got 2 goals, just like when he came in down in Frisco. They got 2 goals late. I feel like scoring 2 or 3 is pretty much average now. Yeah. San Diego FC, which is incredible.
It's amazing.
And frankly, when you score 3, to me, that should be 90% a win and maybe 9% a draw. And 1% of the time you get no points. So really frustrating. But with that, I think we do forget, because of how great things have been going up top for San Diego FC, they do start teenagers on both ends on the back line. They've got an 18-year-old at left wing and at right, or left back and right back. So, sometimes those mistakes are made, and we definitely saw on Saturday night the back end of the defense get a little bit torched, get stretched out, and then run ragged at the end.
Yeah, the bad news is that was a very avoidable loss for SDFC. The good news is they've stolen more than they've lost over the course. They're still in first in the table in the West because Vancouver lost. And I think secretly It was another entertaining game.
Yeah, it was.
They're winning over fans because it's an entertaining brand of soccer. Win or lose, these are all really good games, Craig. And I think it's been a great introduction to MLS for San Diego this year.
Absolutely. And it's all because they nailed their 2 picks on designated players. You know, I was just going to say they nailed the DP, and then I just knew what Woods was going to say. So I wanted to.
I was just going to leave it alone, but.
I mean, look what Dreyer's doing. Right now, Anders Dreyer has a great chance to be MLS MVP in the first year. He's over 20 goal contributions, goals and assists. I think he's at 23 now. That's usually about the number an MVP gets. And he's there with, 13 matches left in the MLS regular season. Lozano, every time he's been on the field, he's an absolute difference maker. And then you got to look to the kid from Escondido and what Milanowski is doing up top and truly acting like a natural world-class striker. Always calm, low heartbeat, puts himself in the right positions, confident, gets himself in places to score, and then converts and turns passes into goals. It is so beautiful what this team is doing on offense. You can live with a little bit of raggedness on defense when you're putting that many in the back of the net. And guys, I know you were at Petco that night. The atmosphere was electric once again at Snapdragon Stadium on Saturday night. So a lot of good things going for SDFC. They got a road match in Chicago, which I would normally be worried about having dropped 3 points at home. But the way the team's been playing on the road, see if they can just get it right out there.
Yeah, don't want this to snowball, right? And it's it's like the baseball season. Like you're gonna have your rough games. You're gonna have the ones where the bullpen implodes or the closer blows one, or you make a key error, or you don't hit. I mean, we've seen it all from the Padres this year, Craig. But you're trying to right the ship. How is Chicago this year? Looking right now. Not great. State. Yeah, not great. Yeah. So, I mean, just get back on the track, flush it, and move on. And, speaking of the Padres, we don't complain about series wins. We don't. You can't do it. I vacillate, as you do in the course of a baseball season. Watching the offense some nights, I tweeted, is like being in the dentist chair. I mean, it really is confounding. It's frustrating. It's tough to watch, but to see where they are, losing Michael King for the majority of the season, Dylan Cease not being even a sniff of what Dylan Cease is capable of, to be where they are is pretty good. It's pretty good.
Absolutely. I mean, I was just looking at this yesterday, guys, when we were recording Padres Hot Tub last night, but 7 games over 500 right now, right? Yep. They were 3 games over at this point last year. And, of course, wound up sinking back from there. And sinking back to 500 at the 100 game mark before they took off, like a Roman candle. This team has been hanging on because of elite relief pitching, depth contributions from the staff. If this team makes the playoffs, and I still believe they will, we are going to have to look at Vasquez, Bergert, Kolek, even yesterday, Kyle Hart, the non-stars showing up defense on the pitching and defense side, and the offense is just poor. It's just not a good offense. It's a lower tier offense in Major League Baseball, what the Padres have right now. And it doesn't mean it can't get a little bit better. The only way it really gets better is, if Xander Bogaerts starts to hit like his Boston self, which I think they should just blindfold him anytime there's runs. Like when there's nobody on, I feel pretty comfortable with Xander at the plate. And when there's the bases loaded, just forget about it.
I swear, I thought I had the insane thought last night. I was texting with a couple buddies. I said, just put him at the top. Put him at the top for now. You know what I mean? Like Luis Arraez has become this RBI machine because, he makes contact and he hits the ball. But it's seemingly the last week or so, every time there's 2 or 3 runners on and up to the plate strides Xander Bogaerts. And, you got to come through in a couple of those situations. I swear to God, I would just put him at the top. His takes have been pretty elite lately. He's not swinging at a lot of bad pitches. He may be your leadoff hitter, in my mind at least, because, he's getting, and I know that gives him more at bats per game, but holy cow, he's coming up with a lot of guys on base and not cashing in.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because I think, another thing I definitely wanted to say on this segment was Mike Schilt made the right decision going back to the lineup he had.
Yeah.
He made a terrible decision changing it and juggling things and putting Luis at the top. That's just like, these are the mistakes we've already made. We don't need to repeat them. I like the lineup the way it is. If Tatis was struggling If he was really playing poorly, I would be with you on that, Woods, but I still feel like you need FTJ at the top of the lineup. Xander's just the thing we have to live with. I feel like he's just the guy that we have to live with. Maybe he gets a hit every once in a while, but you'd love to get another bat in this lineup that could push him down.
100%.
Where if he's hitting seventh, if he and Crony are 7-8,
that's nasty.
You're going to feel okay about the way this lineup looks.
Who is it? Who's the guy? I mean, who's out there? I know for a fact that we can't sit in here and say, and I see fans say it all the time, what is Preller doing? What is Preller doing? I'll tell you what he's doing. He's cranking phone calls and text messages every day. You got to have a willing partner, and you have to have something that they want that's not Leo Dallas DeVries and Ethan Salas. Who do they get? Who do you bring in? A guy asked me this weekend, how many pieces away are we? I go, 4. We're like 4 pieces away. I don't know that one bat changes everything, but, who is the guy? Who do you bring in that immediately makes this lineup better? I mean, the answer,
I've got an idea.
The answer could be anyone, but
I want to be clear that this got sourced from some folks, some of our great patrons at Padres Hot Tub brought this up on one of our recent shows, and then I looked at it and I'm like, yes, I want to talk to the Orioles, okay? And I want to talk to the Orioles, not maybe for a couple of the guys that you're thinking of, because everyone goes Stratomatic or Fantasy Baseball and looks at the top name on the list. We need to make this team better, and I've got a 2-player package I want from the Baltimore Orioles. I want Ramon Laureano, who is having a really good year, but is an affordable right-handed corner outfielder, can play center in a pinch. He's a good defender. He's fast. He's got a really, really good arm, and he's hitting this year. And while he's actually hitting righties quite well this year as a right-handed hitter, historically, he's around an 800 OPS against left-handed pitching and a little bit better against lefties than righties. To me, that's an absolute perfect fit. You can put him, in that 6-7 spot in the order. He can give you defense, a little bit of thump, and just not be a complete sagging out all the time. But if I'm calling Baltimore and I'm trying to get, a C-grade player like Laureano, I say, hey, by the way, how about that fella Gary Sanchez? Why don't you toss him in the deal?
Yep.
Let's get Laureano and Sanchez. That's not going to cost you DeVries or Salas or even, I think, Bateman. I think you can get that deal over the finish line, because how much better does this lineup look if you have a real guy like Laureano in left, and if you have Sanchez hitting 9th? I don't care if he hits 180. If the 180 is bombs, give me bombs.
We've seen it.
Yeah,
we've seen it here.
Everyone's talking Ryan O'Hearn, and Ryan O'Hearn's he's great. I would love to have Ryan O'Hearn, but he's another left-handed bat, and you've got plenty of those, and you've created some pretty interesting lanes for left-handers against you right now. So I'm so interested to see what Preller does. And again, I just, look, did he make some mistakes with this roster this year? 100%, no question. He would tell you that. But I know it's not for a lack of trying. He wants another bat or two in this lineup ASAP, but it's got to be the right deal.
Adam Klug points out that Gary Sanchez just hit the IL with a knee injury that might keep him out several weeks,
great.
which
Son of a
doesn't necessarily preclude it. I think, Craig, that's a very AJ Preller like move that you just proposed, though. That's a very AJ Preller-esque move. An athletic outfielder.
Leave it to Adam to come
hot,
in with the hey, actually, he can't. He's going to be hurt. So, yeah, Ben heard a rumor of Sean Murphy this morning on MLB radio. He's going to cost, I would imagine, a pretty penny, and I believe
the Braves are falling further and further out of it, so they're at least willing to deal at this point. They're 11 games under 500 right now, so we'll see. Anything you want to promote here, Craig? Give you your 30 seconds.
Oh, well, thank you so kindly. First off, new San Diego FC podcast, Chromaniacs, with myself, Tony Sanchez, Alex Pena. 6 episodes out now, coming out on Thursdays. Padres Hot Tub. Find it on your Apple podcast. Find it wherever you can find it. We have our Patreon feed. Guys, Crossing Streams is back.
I got one for you.
Do you?
Yeah.
Do you?
Oh, my God,
great.
do I?
Give it to me real quick, because then I kind of short-sold Shoresy the other day. I want to give you a
I loved it. I watched Shoresy. It was fantastic. It was really, really good. It's fantastic. Department Q on Netflix is a
watched it
banger. Straight up banger. I mean, I ripped through it on the plane. It is fantastic. Department Q
in fact, Woodsy, Chris Reed and I did a podcast of Crossing Streams reviewing Department Q last week. You can go find that.
It's epic.
But yeah, Shorzy to me is just. I've just finished the 3rd season last night. I think it might be a perfect television show.
It's really good.
I actually think it's perfect. Just the funniest hockey show you'll ever see. Some of the best comedy and straight up 20-minute episodes, 6-episode seasons. You can knock a season on a plane flight. Literally.
Yeah, easily.
Craig, have a great week. Thank you for your time as always.
Thank you, dude.
Pleasure, guys. Talk to you next Monday.
Serious, Craig Elsten. So glad we've got him back in the fold on Mondays here on Ben and Woods. And I think the big question is you're looking at the standings. I just mentioned the Braves, 11 games under. There are only 6 now wild card contenders above 500. You need to beat out half of them to make the playoffs, which is really what the goal is at this point. Yes, you want to win a World Series, but the only way to win a World Series, get in the playoffs and get hot. And if the Padres, we've seen, if the Padres get hot, they're close to unbeatable. I mean, like at the beginning of the season, if everyone's hitting at the same time, I don't know that it'll happen in October, but if it did, watch out. But you got to get there first, and that's going to be the challenge for the Padres, at least getting there.
Do you feel like guys are maybe, possibly, potentially starting to turn a corner? Guys like Luis Arraez, Tatis looking a little bit more like Tatis. Bogarts has been pretty solid for what, 3+ weeks now.
I've liked some of the signs.
Manny's been steady. He's been great.
Can you beat out 3 of these teams? The Mets, they're 13 games above 500. They're pretty good. I think they'll be there at the end. They've been struggling lately, but the Brewers, they worry me a little. They're 10 games above 500. They just got Brandon Woodruff back in their starting rotation.
Their boy Miz just got drilled, though, the other day, so he's human.
That's true. He is human. Then behind the Padres, you got the Giants, who won last night. They're also 7 games above 500.
God, they scare me with their pitching, man.
The Cardinals at 5 games above 500, and the Reds at 2 games above 500.
Yeah, the Cardinals and the Reds, I think you can handle, even though we.
So you have to stay. You have to either stay above the Giants or get ahead of the Brewers, or hope that the Mets or Phillies, one of them collapses in the NL East. But you have to stay ahead of 3 of those teams to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And don't let the Arizona Diamondbacks in it. By the way, take 3 out of 4 this week.
100%.
Keep them well under 500 and starting to think sell rather than buy this week. This is a sneaky huge
sneaky
series.
About
it's not
it. Nothing. It's not even sneaky. I am
huge series.
I stole the vomit bag from the plane because I'm probably gonna have to use it.
If you can win this series, and the Padres are good at winning home series, you will cripple the Arizona Diamondbacks this week.
Yeah, you take 3 or 4.
Now you got Gallen, you got Kelly, you got Fott, and you got Rodriguez. You got to find a way to win 3. But the Padres have Darvish.
Some of those guys have gotten torched lately.
Darvish, Pivetta, Cease, and Vasquez, probably your best 4 at the moment right now. So big series this week at Petco Park.
Huge. Not sneaky.
And now, quickly, the move that surprised a lot of people around baseball yesterday: the firing of Washington Nationals general manager Mike Rizzo and manager Dave Martinez, World Series winning pair, but it's been 6 years. Heard something interesting this morning, and it made a lot of sense. And that was, I think it was Jim Bowden who was saying both of those guys had a option for 2026 that had to be decided on this week.
Wow.
And the Nationals just in their minds go, we know we're done with them, so we're not picking up the option. But once you do that, they're essentially lame ducks.
They're lame ducks, yeah.
And you don't want lame ducks making big decisions for your organization going forward.
Like the draft, which is next week, in which you have the number 1 pick.
Deadline.
So, trade deadline.
They'll go with an interim for now and try to figure it out moving forward. But that was a kind of a shocker in baseball yesterday with Rizzo and Martinez both getting let go by the Nationals. All right. Oh, the audio. Play it.
Heavy on your gas pedal in the middle of the city there, bro.
Next.
right, we are halfway home on a Monday. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan, back from Philly, and we had such a great time as a show. Little bonding trip is exactly what it was. Went out to see the boys play as well. Only got to see one game. Got rained out the next day, but we made the most of that day, I will say. One of the greatest days in show history.
Somebody in the chat this morning, they asked, did the rain delay and the doubleheader and everything screw up all your plans for Tuesday? No.
Not at all.
It actually opened things up beautifully for us.
We also happened to save like half of the Padres equipment from a flood that
we
they were unaware of.
I wonder if Schulte knows how valuable and instrumental we are to that team's success. As we were down there, and all of a sudden, the rain just started pouring in. And I believe it was Brian Esposito that had to grab the squeegee and was trying to push water out of the clubhouse.
The drains were just not moving fast enough to drain the water. So it was coming in from the dugout up the tunnel. And the Padres, players had their bags down, like catcher's gear and bats and everything. And I go, is there anyone? Because they're all back in a meeting. And I go, is anyone aware that you're about to, your equipment's going to get soaked?
I ran and found a PR guy. I'm like, hey, there's a bunch of, equipment bags and baseballs and stuff. It's about to get soaked.
So we just did it. We took the bull by the horns. I went down. I grabbed Elias Diaz's bag. Paulie grabbed Maldy's bag. We pulled them up, put them at the top of the stairs so that they wouldn't get wet. Took the baseballs and moved everything out of the way. And then we went out that night and it was unbelievable. It was a spiritual reset for the show. It was absolutely incredible. Maybe the best night I've had out amongst friends. It was incredible. Our little guy over here just had the time of his life, didn't he? Didn't you?
It was a good time.
Yeah.
That's all you want to say about that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, did we visit some Philadelphia establishments?
We did.
Maybe.
We had a great time. We had a
good time.
Great time. There's a lot to like about that city. Now, it was hotter than fish grease. Hotter. I mean, just this sweat pouring over you. The first time in my life, Paulie knows this, Ben knows this. You guys have traveled with me before. I pack a big bag and it is full of stuff. And it's the first time I've ever traveled that I underpacked. I had to rewear the same pair of underwear twice. I've never done that. I always bring, and I thought I brought plenty for a 3-day trip. I brought 6 pairs plus the one I was wearing, 7 pair of underwear. I ripped through them. Socks I had to reuse. I mean, it was terrible. I changed 3 times a day and took 3 showers a day.
3 a day. I thought it worked out really well. Our hotel was very centrally located in downtown, where there was a bunch of the Independence Hall, Liberty Bell, historical stuff on one side of the hotel. And then on the other side was the Rocky Steps and the statue and all that touristy stuff. So we were able to go do a couple of hours. We couldn't go more than an hour and a half, 2 hours in that heat. And you're like, all right, I got to get back into the AC, a shower, change of clothes, and then we'll meet up in 2 hours to go to the game.
We were all fine with that.
Yeah,
sometimes you're traveling with other family members who just want to go. But the 3 of us were cool going out sightseeing for a couple hours and then go rest for a little while.
Now, the way that we got around too, we walked a lot. We walked a ton, actually. But then, we'd be like, hey, let's go check this out. Let's go to Mitchell and Ness. So let's grab an Uber. Now, the standard Uber air freshener in Philly is garlic. I'm pretty sure it's standard. I saw, I think, a clove hanging from a guy's. Are there vampires there? I have no idea. But every Uber we got into was all Honda CRX. 85% CRV, sorry. And we got in and they all reeked of garlic / onions.
And you were risking your life
pretty much
every single ride.
Every single ride, risking your life.
Narrow streets, fast drivers. You get the picture.
So, but we happened to hit the absolute mother load. When we jumped in a cab, we were pouring sweat. And we had this guy come pick us up, and he was taking us to Mitchell and Ness, which is the clothing store. Bought my kids the OG
right?
Mitchell and Ness,
the flagship store there in downtown Philly. Yeah.
So we went there. I got the boys each an Allen Iverson jersey that they didn't take it off all weekend. They absolutely loved it. Showed them the highlights. Taylor going around the house going, I'm talking about practice, man. Practice. It's the greatest thing ever. I loved it.
Every day my practice sucks.
Every day my practice sucks. It was so good. So so we go in, but the guy that drove us there was exactly what we were looking for. We wanted the quintessential.
Picked us up in Independence Hall. Is about a 10-minute ride. Philly Mike. Check him out.
A little heavy on your gas pedal in the middle of the city there, bro.
How's your morning?
Bunch of idiots like that. Other than that, not too bad.
Good. Is this the full-time gig or is this side
full-time.
Full-time gig? Nice.
And then you add in the friends that go, oh, well, he does Lyft and Uber. That means he's got nothing but time.
That's right.
And he drives. Come get me.
Yeah, that's what friends are for, huh? You Phillies fan?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, we're going to the game tonight.
Nice.
We're from San Diego. We're Padres fans, but...
Oh, I am sorry for all your losses.
a lot of them.
I mean, I'm sorry. Have they really had anybody except Juan Soto since the era of Tony Gwynn?
Yeah. Machado.
Yeah, maybe so. All right.
Tatis.
Fernando.
Merrill.
A couple. All right.
I'll
give you a couple. I mean, Machado almost came here.
He almost did.
Schwarber.
We love Schwarber. We like a lot of the Phillies.
I mean, listen, there is nothing like watching a Schwarber. All right? There is nothing like it. Although I am a little bit worried in regards to one individual on the team, because how the did Castellanos get almost outrun by the catcher?
That was pretty amazing. That was a pretty amazing play.
Funny as
That was great.
watching Realmuto on Castellanos' ass.
Yes. Yeah, perfect.
Like, you see them rounding third, and you can almost hear Realmuto going, move!
The best. It was unbelievable. Ben was sitting shotgun. Me and Woods are in the back, and every time he,
I didn't know you were recording back
hit
then.
that,
I had no idea.
Every time that guy hit that Delco accent, Woods is just nudging me. I'm like, I got it.
Please don't stop rolling. So he was.
He gave us recommendations on where and where not to go for Philly cheesesteaks.
It was exactly what we wanted. We needed the quintessential Philly guy.
He really wanted us to eat scrapple, which is the breakfast meat of choice in Pennsylvania Dutch country. But his description of it's the part of the pig that isn't good enough for the hot dogs, then kind of pressed into a patty that you then eat for breakfast. Did not sell any of us on the scrapple.
Was that the morning? That was not the morning. We were not hungover that morning. We were fine.
We were not hungover.
We had a little bit of wine at dinner. The dinner that we had was absolutely outstanding. We went to an Italian place called Villa di Roma. And right when you walk in the door, the guy's like, what do you want? You know, you're like, oh, we have a reservation. Sit down, rickety-ass table, rickety-ass wicker chairs. You sit down. They come over. Our meal, including 2 types of bread, salads. I got chicken parm. You guys got a pasta dish. It was out and done, like 30 minutes. It was done. Desserts came. We were in and out of that place in 45 minutes. It was my dream.
We had a bottle of wine poured amongst the 3 of us.
Yeah.
Bread, shrimp.
Yeah, shrimp.
What were all the appetizers?
Salads.
All of that before water had even been poured.
Correct.
Like we were in and out, like you said, less than an hour.
It was the brilliant meal. Villa di Roma, highly recommended in this little
meatballs.
Italy. Yeah, meatballs were outstanding.
I swear to God, I was full the rest of the trip.
Me too.
After that one meal, I couldn't. We'd get a sandwich, like a cheesesteak, and split it 3 ways. I was like, I can't do a full one.
I couldn't either. I could not eat a full Philly cheesesteak. So we also tried we went in to this Reading Central Market, which, by the way, if Ben could have made love to a place, it would have been.
It was amazing.
It was like a magnet. Every time he'd walk outside, he's like, should we go to the market?
It was food heaven. I mean, it was food heaven. They had dozens and dozens of vendors and stalls with every food that you can imagine.
You know you can't have sex with a building, right? Like, you know you can't.
So really, really good and interesting and different stuff that I hadn't eaten before.
Yeah. So we had to try. We got strap in for this, man. We got the Philly cheesesteak stuffed pretzel. Paulie got it, and it will bring you to your knees.
That's a Miller's twist in the market. That was outstanding.
A pretzel roll-up. Stuffed it with cheesesteak.
The pretzels were amazing. The regular pretzels, soft pretzels, best soft pretzels in your life.
It's unbelievable. I got the Thanksgiving sandwich, which was turkey, stuffing, cranberry. So what we did, we all got a different thing, and then we split it, and we all had a bite. Ben got
the mix and match, you know.
Yeah, mix and match.
The tuna melt, do the mix and match.
Yeah, did the mix and match. So Benny got the roast pork, and I was looking forward to the roast pork. I heard nothing but good things about roast pork, and I'll remember that wretched taste for the rest of my life.
You did not like the broccoli rabe, the greens on top.
I was
bitter greens.
Not a fan.
I liked it.
Broccoli Ben loved it.
Broccoli Ben
I
was
good.
He was. You put down the majority
I
of
ate
that
too
sandwich.
much. Yeah, I definitely
God.
did eat too much of just about everything.
So we had the food was outstanding, but honestly, I don't feel like we overate because we literally split our meals. The only time we overate was at the Italian place. You cannot eat. And then on our way out, brilliant idea by Ben. He said, let's go to Angelo's. And we pull up to Angelo's. There's a line out the door to get one more cheesesteak because we only had the one at Citizens Bank.
And we were like, good God, that's a long line. The guy goes, buddy, this ain't nothing.
This is nothing. Guy watched our luggage for us. We went in. We got a cheesesteak. We each got one. I could only get half down. You cannot, if you eat a full when you're a glutton. There's just
so
no
much
way.
meat.
There's so much.
You feel like you're eating like the biggest steak of your life, all chopped up with cheese.
We ate it on a dumpster.
CD roll.
We went over to a dumpster and we unfolded. They don't have tables because why would they have tables at a restaurant?
No.
You open up the paper and and I'm telling you, I'm ruined. And I'll get the cheesesteak at Jersey Mike's. I don't think I will anymore. There's nothing I've had that comes close to the flavor and taste of that. The cheese, whatever they do with it, the seeded bun. It was so good. So if you're a foodie, Philly is a place for you, man. It was epic. And it dive bars everywhere. It was such a blast.
Now, we also had some travel adventures
We did.
on our trip, starting with arrival. You mentioned it a little bit earlier, but the easiest flight out, I think, ever. They were tailwinds. We arrived 45 minutes.
4 hours and 35 minutes, nothing.
We got across the country like nothing. It was so easy. And we pull out and we get off and I go, I want to do the train, but it's hot and it's sticky. So we go to the baggage lane. We're just going to do the Uber lift into our hotel. We're good, though. We're going to get there probably an hour and a half, 2 hours earlier than we expected. We're going to have all afternoon to chill before dinner, get comfortable, take a little rest, whatever. So we're sitting there waiting for our bags along with the rest of our flight. You mentioned Jason Adams' wife and Dylan Cease's girlfriend was there. A bunch of tier ones were on the plane. They were also going to see the series in Philly. Bags start coming off. We're all looking for our bags. They don't come off. Other flights, they grab bags, they go. Oh, I guess that wasn't our flight. So then baggage claim fires up again. Bags start coming out. Everyone's looking. Okay,
these are from LA.
Then all these people from LA, a flight that had gotten in 20, 30 minutes after us, they get their bags. One of the tier ones who was there, I forget his name, he goes, well, let me check. I got an air tag in my bag.
He had an air tag.
And he goes, this thing's still sitting on the tarmac. It's
not moved.
It's still like on the plane. I go, like, they haven't unloaded our plane.
It's been like 45 minutes to an hour at this point.
Another flight comes through, more bags, not ours. And finally, they make an announcement. Now, on flight whatever from San Diego, we're understanding operations has not been able to offload your plane yet. They are aware. We're trying to remedy the situation. Just stand by for another announcement. We're there. 3 more flights, another hour before finally, 2 hours later, we've all been waiting. They finally get our bags off.
So hot in that airport.
Oh.
We're just sweating
bullets,
dying. We went from thinking, oh, we're going to get to our hotel about 3:00. Dinner's at 7:30.
We time to chill.
Maybe we can get some sightseeing, go see something before dinner, to all of a sudden we're like, we have to hustle to downtown, check in, shower, and get right back on the road and go to dinner.
It was not 2 hours sitting in the terminal waiting for our bags. It was, and we actually had the thought, did they do this on purpose because they're playing the Padres? That's how, they're petty there. They're really petty. They don't like you in the gear and everything else. And I go, did they purposely delay?
I was suspicious too. I mean, I figure there's some Philly people coming home as well, if they didn't deserve that.
Yeah, they did not.
The operations staff at Philadelphia International. But then on the way back home, we get our cheesesteaks, and then we're in the Uber to the airport, and that's when the news comes in. Oh, your flight's
2 hours.
2 hours delayed. And then they had another, 90 minutes. I think we ended up 3.5, 4 hours delayed.
Yeah.
Fortunately, we were able to get access to the club.
How did we get that access?
That would be me.
Sapphire preferred.
I got my Sapphire card for you. Yeah. Reserve, not the preferred.
Hey, there were worse ways to sit in an airport.
So we got to watch the first game of the
hours.
doubleheader, which the Padres won, and enjoyed that. But then we're getting on the plane. And as we're filing on to our seats back in economy class, sitting right in the very first row of first class is Tier 1 Brian. And Brian looks at us as we're passing.
He was on our flight out.
He was on our flight out as well. He was part of the baggage claim nightmare. And Brian sees us filing in and immediately looks up and goes, Paulie, you want my seat?
Take my seat.
Take my seat. And Paulie's going, what?
We had gone into economy.
Yeah, we
were
sat down
in consecutive rows. We each had a window seat.
8, 9, 10.
We were like, we don't need to share a row again. We've seen enough of each other at this point. 8, 9, and 10. And I was in the middle, and he walked, like, we're seated, getting ready to take off here in a few minutes. And he walks back into economy, and he goes, Paulie, this is for you.
Yeah.
And I go, well, what is that? And I open it, and it was his boarding pass. He goes, we're switching seats.
Yeah, you go sit
and
in
I
first
go,
class.
why?
It
What are you
was so rad.
talking about? And he looks at you guys. He's like, Paulie deserves it, right?
Yeah, we said
He goes,
absolutely.
100%. I didn't think twice. I got my ass up immediately and was like, I don't know why you're doing this,
but thank you.
Thank you.
First time in first class?
I had never been in first class. I'd never been to the East Coast. I'm a West Coast boy my whole life. Never been on a plane more than a couple of hours, except for like one time we had to go Seattle to Dallas. It was like 4 hours, and that's the longest I'd ever been on a plane. So this 5-hour, 15-minute flight, by far my longest flight that I've been on in my life. Never been in first class. Boy,
what a huge, cool move.
It was unbelievable, Brian. If you're hearing this right now, thank you again. It was outstanding. I was fully prepared to doze off and try to catch up on some sleep on that plane, and then I thought, nope, gonna enjoy this one.
Yeah,
And
it was
just
such a
soak it
cool
in.
move. Such a cool move.
So if you're hoping to be named Tier 1 of the year at the end of the year,
It's a
you've got
good way
some
to
ground
start.
to make up on Brian at this point, who has comfortably moved into the
Yeah,
lead.
his son Spencer's in the chat. I think we took a selfie with Brian on the way out there, and he said, "Yeah, my son listens to you guys all the time."
Dude, Brian Huffelder. That's right. What a great dude. It was awesome. Such a cool move.
I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then we, got home and went home and relaxed, but it was such a great trip. I want to do it again, a different spot next year, some tier ones, potentially working on something where we could make that a reality with our pal, David J. We've got some things cooking right now from Mad Friars. So hopefully we can get that done and do a flyaway with the tier ones and have some drinks and have some food and go watch a ball game. But it was epic. It was an epic trip.
All right, we still may have a couple of more stories
You never
as
know.
we go, but that was the
Maybe some live
highlights
stream. Maybe from the live stream
of our trip to Philadelphia.
Share everything.
When we come back, it's been a while. It is time to play Take on Woods.
I'm
If you
so
want to be our
rusty.
contestant to Battle Woods for a chance to qualify, do we have a new grand prize this month as well, Paulie?
Yes, we do.
We have a new grand prize as well, a trip to Las Vegas, Motley Crue in Las Vegas.
Wow.
And, we may have Better Buzz gift cards to give away as well. I don't want to spoil a secret, but 833-288-0973, our musical trivia challenge is coming up when we come back. And then Dennis Lynn, our Linsider, at the bottom of the hour. Don't go away. Call in now, 833-288-0973. Ben and Woods continuing on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. One of the amazing things, ran into a tier 1 in Philly. He goes, hey, Ben, tier 1, and I did sdfatloss.com. I think he said he lost like 55 pounds. Incredible. He looked great. I still look great. I was able, even on the trip, I managed to not gain a single pound. I think I didn't. I got on the scale. I've done. I mean, we walked a lot and stuff, but I've simply changed my metabolism by following the plan that they set out for me a couple of summers ago. Yeah, summer's fun. You can lose weight during the summer. Learn some new habits. I learned them, and I was able to incorporate them into my life. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days. That's up to a pound of fat per day and 10 to 20% off your body weight in just 60 days. There is no reason not to do it now. I don't care if you're going on vacation. I don't care if you've got barbecues planned. You can still lose the weight and have a good time. I had some cheat days, still lost all that weight 2 summers ago and have kept it all off. And you do it without exercise. You do it without injections, and you don't have to buy any food from them. No bars or shakes. It's all real food from the grocery store. I ate a ton of chicken and steak and veggies, and I lost the weight. You can do it as well. So many tier 1s, like the one I met in Philly, have lost so much weight. Just sign up for your free consultation online by going to sdfatloss.com. Find out how the program works, how you can change your life like I did at sdfatloss.com. Results may vary.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
I got Dennis Lynn, our Linsider from The Athletic at the bottom of the hour. So let's get right to it. It is time to play a Monday version of Take on Woods. Got Brandon set to be our contestant here this morning. Hello, Brandon.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very good. I got two pieces of good news for you. First up, just for playing today, Better Buzz is going to give you a $50 gift card. Better Buzz Coffee coming in hot with their Summer Flings menu. Try the coconut best drink ever and some of the great energy drinks, the Tropical Buzz, and the new Blue Crush acai bowl stacked with fruit granola and all the good stuff to keep cool this summer for a limited time only at Better Buzz Coffee. And Brandon, if you can beat or tie Woods, we also have a brand new grand prize to qualify for. It is a 2-night stay at Park MGM Las Vegas, 2 tickets to Motley Crue on September 19th, and a $100 gas card. Motley Crue's Las Vegas residency at Dolby Live at Park MGM runs September 12th through October 3rd. Ticketmaster has the tickets at Ticketmaster.com. All right, here are your choices for categories. We've got some holdovers from before the break. All White Now. Those are 5 song titles that include the word white. We have White Sale. Those are 5 bands or artists that include the word white. Or we have Summer School. That is a 5 2-second song category featuring the word summer. So All White Now, White Sale, or Summer School. Brandon, what would you like to play?
Let's go Summer School, please.
All right, we're going with the music again today. All right, Tier 1 Steve actually contributed this category for us. Paulie has put it together. You have 5 questions. They are all 2-second songs. You need to identify the song title and the artist of each piece of music to score the point. You go first, Woods goes second. If you beat or tie him, you're into the drawing for Las Vegas. All right, Brandon, are you ready to play?
I'm ready.
All right, Paul, you good to go?
I'm ready.
All
It's
right,
a tough one, Brandon.
Category is Summer School. Yeah, I think this is a tough one. We'll see how you do. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time begins when Paul plays our first song. Good luck, Brandon. Let's take on Woods.
Last Summer, No Doubt.
Incorrect. Song number 2.
Cruel Summer, Bananarama.
Correct. Song number 3.
Pass.
Song number 4.
Pass.
All right, song number 5.
My goodness. Pass.
All right, go back to song number 3. Running out of time here.
Oh, you got me this time.
All right.
I pass.
Song number 4. No, we only got the 1. It is a tough category, Brandon. I will give you that. You got Cruel Summer by Bananarama. The ones you didn't get, Suddenly Last Summer by the Motels. That was song number 1. Then Summer Breeze by Seals and Crofts. City by the Lovin' Spoonful. And Feels Like Summer by Childish Gambino. That ran the gamut of music there. All right, Brandon's score is locked in. Woods doesn't get the category, but I will tell him it's all 2-second songs again today.
Okay.
60 seconds on the clock. Woods, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Brandon.
Suddenly Last Summer by the Motels.
That is correct. Song number 2.
Cruel Summer by Bananarama.
That is correct. Song number 3.
Summer Breeze by Seals and Crofts.
That is correct. Song number 4.
Pass.
Song number 5.
Crap. Hit the wall. I don't
Go back
know.
to song number 4.
I don't know
You
it.
kind of got that one, you know?
Summer's Taint.
No. Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, you got the win, though. 3-1. That's Summer in the City by the Lovin' Spoonful.
Okay.
Hot Town Summer in the City.
Got it.
And then the last one, tough, newer. Feels Like Summer by Childish Gambino.
No, I would have never.
But Summer was the Summer School was the category.
Okay.
And you beat Brandon on a tough one today.
That was tough. My God.
3-1. So no qualifiers yet for Motley Crue and the Park MGM in Las Vegas.
That Motels song is one of my top 10 favorite
Suddenly
songs.
Last Summer?
Oh my God, do I love that song. Incredible. Incredible work, gentlemen.
All right. We will have many opportunities for you to qualify for Las Vegas the rest of the month of July, but you do get to enjoy the Better Buzz gift card, Brandon, so stay on the line. Paulie will get your info, and we'll come back with Dennis Lynn on the NL wildcard race, the upcoming trade deadline, and more. Everything we've missed from our Linsider when we come back with Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Quickly, gang, if you are maxed out on credit cards, though, struggling with high interest debt, you can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Of course, it's Woodsy here. Get cash out now without touching your low rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is incredible. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours, paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. Pretty big turnaround for that family. Loan Pronto, instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. Your home's equity is yours, guys. Use it. Get cash out to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home. See how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto, A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Service off the charts. Call now. Get the conversation started at 619-207-4336 or loanpronto.com. 619-207-4336. Get debt relief now at loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781 on approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
No 2-second songs for Black Betty.
No.
By Ram Jam.
Ram Jam.
Michael in the chat says, Woods' knowledge of music is seriously impressive. I couldn't tell you the song names of some of my favorite bands even. Ha ha. Good start to the month.
It's a fun game. I like it.
Before we get to Dennis Lynn, I do want to remind you it is a Mike Schilt week. On Friday, we'll have the manager's report with Mike Schilt. 9 a.m. on Ben & Woods, refreshed by Eco Water SoCal. Try alkaline water for just $9.95 a month. Eco Water SoCal, keeping it soft since 1925. And I have to imagine one of Mike Schilt's biggest concerns is getting Fernando Tatis Jr. and Jackson Merrill hitting again.
Yeah.
It's a topic that Dennis Lynn wrote about in The Athletic in a new piece this morning, and we will talk to him about that and more right after our check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water. Well, some improvement on northbound 805 out of the South Bay. Accident has been cleared out of the right lanes right before the 54. Just watch out for a little residual slowing and watch out for some debris reported on the Pacific Highway on-ramp to southbound 5. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all of their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Happy Monday, Padres fans. It's time to discuss the weekend that was for the Padres with our Ben & Woods Linsider, Dennis Lynn from The Athletic. Brought to you by the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place. Things are about to get real with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With gorgeous rooms and exciting new eats and drinks, it gets real this summer at Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
We had to experience a little taste of something that Dennis knows well from his many years covering the San Diego Padres for the UT and then The Athletic, and that is life on the road with the Major League Baseball team. We went to Philly last week and got to see the guys. And Dennis, it's good to have you. What were your favorite things and least favorite things about traveling to cover a baseball team?
Rain delays. So
yeah,
that
was bad.
Know all about that by now, right?
We got that. Yep.
And my favorite thing would be getting ice cream from Frank in Philly. So I don't know if you
ice cream
all got to partake
missed
in
it.
the press box up there. But that is one of the distinct pleasures on the road.
So we were going to get it on Tuesday, and we went up there, and because the rain out was called so early, the whole crew had already left, and there was nothing up there for us. It was very sad.
The whole stadium was empty. We had free reign of the entire
stadium. We did
stadium.
get that cheesesteak from the visiting clubhouse, though, and it was amazing.
It was incredible.
Well, there you go. I hope that made up for it.
It did. It did. It was spectacular. Just skimming through your piece here this morning. Yeah, I mean, look, Dennis, we've talked about this with you ad nauseum. I mean, you can add pieces to this lineup all you want. If the guys at the top don't do what they're supposed to do and what they're all paid pretty handsomely to do, this team's going nowhere. I mean, you're not going anywhere. If Jackson Merrill can't figure it out and Fernando Tatis Jr. can't find a way to be a little bit more consistent, then we're pretty much up a creek. Watching Jackson Merrill, it's so weird to see him chase so much after watching this pretty elite plate discipline that he had last year. And he's going out of the zone, up those tantalizing fastballs up. He's swinging at all of them now, Dennis, and it's not looking good right now for him.
Yeah, even the borderline pitches are giving him a lot of trouble right now. But to some extent, you expect this young guy, second year in the league, he wants to be great. Same thing with Fernando. They're both angry at themselves, understandably. They've spent kind of the past 2 months angry at themselves, but he's gonna adjust. I'm pretty confident. I think we can all say that at this point. We saw him make some adjustments midseason last year, and obviously let one of the best second halves Dodgers have seen from one of their hitters in recent memory. So I think right now he's maybe stuck in between a little bit. He went into this year wanting to walk more, wanting to be more disciplined, and now he's just getting a ton of pitches outside the strike zone. So he's a guy who wants to be aggressive and wants to hit at the same time. So kind of that push-pull battle with him. But the fact is, kind of like you allude to, he and Fernando have been two of the worst hitters on, one of the major's worst offenses for close to 2 months now. So they've got to, get back to who they are. If they don't, the Padres are going to be in big trouble no matter who they add at the trade deadline.
One thing that is impressive, though, for Jackson and Fernando, and Xander, even as a veteran, despite the offensive struggles, they have not carried it out to the field.
Not even a little.
Three of them continue to play defense well, and when they do get on, run the bases well and contribute in other ways when they can. And that, I think that's saying something, Dennis.
Yeah, and it explains why Fernando is going to the All-Star game. I know it's a surprise for a lot of people, maybe even slightly myself, but if you look at just his wins above replacement, he's top 10 in the league, and that's largely due to, like you said, Ben, his defense, his base running, the things that he is bringing each night, despite the lack of offense. But yeah, for Jackson too, he's looked pretty smooth out there in center field, and that's what they definitely need. But again, even more, they need the offense, they need the slugging. So if those two guys can turn it on here in the second half and go into the All-Star break with a nice finishing homestand, that again would be as important as anything they would get, potentially by July 31st.
Talking to our pal Dennis Lynn from The Athletic, and it's funny, you mentioned Jackson Merrill and wanting to walk more. I can think of two guys that we talked to in spring training, two guys that both said, yeah, want to add that feather in the quiver, essentially, and neither of them are Jackson Merrill and Luis Arraez, who it's almost impossible to walk. It's almost as impossible to walk him as it is to strike him out, Dennis. And I wonder going into a season saying, I need to walk more is kind of a weird approach in my mind, especially for such an elite contact hitter like Luis Arraez. Yes, he chases, but he's able to do damage sometimes out of the zone, doesn't do damage on pitches in the zone. I don't know, that philosophy seems a bit odd to me. Guys like that are such good hitters, wanting to incorporate walks into their game. I wonder if that's changed maybe their mentality this year when they're at the plate?
Maybe, especially for Jackson, who's again so young in the league and has a lot left to learn. Actually, I think he has walked more, up from like 5% last year to close to 8%. So yeah, he's accomplished that goal so far, but it's come with a trade-off. Like
at what cost, right?
Exactly. I was talking to Victor Rodriguez for this piece that ran this morning, and he said we want him to be aggressive. We want him to be himself. You can't just go up there and say I'm going to walk more, because then you're not in a good position to hit. And right now he's not consistently enough in a good position to hit, and it's kind of leaving him maybe guessing at some pitches and reacting a little bit too late, rather than kind of letting the pitch dictate what he does with what he's swinging at, and what pitches he's trying to do damage on. And right now he needs to get back to pitches he can handle and not kind of come out of his mechanics and chase those pitches above the strike zone, and just be more patient, which is part of the dilemma too, because he does need to be more patient right now, because that's the way he's getting pitched. So if he can get back to just being a little more selective while also being more aggressive like his usual self at the same time, that sounds contradictory. It's going to lead us to much better results than he's seeing right now.
Dennis Lin from The Athletic is with us. And Dennis, we heard from the organization and particularly Mike Schilt, optimism for months about Yu Darvish returning. Well, it is finally happening. Yu Darvish will pitch tonight. Michael King, we're still not sure about, starting to hear, more like an August maybe date for his return. What's more of the unvarnished look at what the expectations are now for Yu Darvish and Michael King?
Well, starting with Darvish, I think it's a really good sign that he's back before the All-Star break, and could end up make 2 starts before the All-Star break, tonight and Saturday if everything goes according to the plan. But I always come back to him. He's almost 39. He's had a lot of mileage on that arm. It's been 10 years since his last Tommy John surgery, his first Tommy John surgery. I'm not saying he's headed for another one, but there's always an expiration date for a lot of these guys, with especially the amount of mileage on his arm, it does explain why he's taking this rehab so slow, because his elbow is clearly not 100%, as it never is for a lot of pitchers in the majors. But he's had all that mileage on his arm, and he's talked about throwing slower in recent weeks. He hit 97 in that rehab start in May with El Paso, and that was actually his fastest pitch if you include all his major league pitches since 2023. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see him tonight try to throw more, 93, 94, kind of harness that a little bit more, the velocity, and we'll see how long it lasts. I'm not trying to be pessimistic here, but he's almost 39 again, and there's probably an expiration date on that arm. So if you can give them a good second half and help them reach the playoffs, that's the best case scenario. If he can take some pressure off the back end of that rotation with some inexperienced pitchers, Padres would love that. So we'll see. But right now he's kind of an open question, but it's definitely good news that he's back. And as far as Michael King, I think August, maybe even September, or what you're looking at. But he's feeling better. I think he actually threw off the front of the mound the other day for the first time. So he's making progress.
Dennis, do you get the sense that at the deadline, there's a lot of those teams that are what you would call in flux, right? Like I think the Boston Red Sox GM has come out and said, no, we're going to buy and sell. They're one of those, like, we've got pieces to move, but we also want to add to improve our team. Every GM says it. Where do you get the sense that AJ stands on a guy like, I don't know, Dylan Cease? Is Dylan Cease pitching for the Padres after the deadline? And is it dependent on how Dylan Cease pitches like this week and next? Like if he goes out and continues this pretty bad stretch that he's been on, couple starts notwithstanding, is that a guy that they're going to look to maybe move and reload while also adding other pieces to try to make the playoffs?
It's a good question. I think if he were pitching much better, it'd be even like a tougher question to answer. But right now his value, it's not very high. So that kind of leads to more problems if you're going to trade him.
But isn't he one of those guys though that you look at and you go, yeah, but it's a tweak here, it's a tweak there. He's still throwing 99. He's still Dylan Cease. Like the track record is good enough, and he's young enough and healthy enough that.
But you're the Padres. You're saying that too.
I know,
hey,
right?
But he's still Dylan Cease. So
I
we
know.
need him for the playoff stretch in the postseason.
I get it. I totally get it. I just really wonder, what the future is. I don't think it's here beyond this year, and I do think you could get some pieces back from even with a down year for him.
Yeah, I think with AJ, you can never rule anything out.
True.
I know. I think AJ's thinking here is he first of all, he's hoping a bunch of other teams like start losing a ton, so they start actually picking up his phone calls and talking to him about players they could trade him. But with Dylan, yeah, it's really interesting. I guess I could, in theory, see it going either way. Yeah, maybe they do some combination of buying and selling, but this is a team that has put a lot of mileage on its bullpen, and that just straight up they need Dylan to eat up a lot more innings, and they need him a lot more than what they could probably get for him, as opposed to it's too late now, but it's a lot. Usually, it's a lot better to try to trade one of these guys in the offseason when all 29 teams are going to want a guy like that. Well, maybe not all 29, but more like all 25. Maybe it's a lesson learned from. Yeah, maybe they should have traded Dylan Cease in the offseason, and still they probably still would have been in position to contend if he had pitched like this, because he's pitching well under his expectations, and they've gotten better production from guys they haven't expected as much from. So we'll see in the next few weeks, I guess.
Dennis, good stuff. Appreciate your time as always. Have a good week.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, brother.
Take care.
Dennis Lynn, our Linsider from The Athletic, joining us every Monday at 8:35.
Because I feel like, does anybody in here agree? Does anybody in here think Dylan Cease is costing himself a lot of money next year? I don't.
I do not.
I don't think he's costing himself really any money. I really don't. I think people are going to I still want Dylan Cease on my team.
He hasn't cost himself anything yet. If he keeps struggling all season, there's going to be some hits on a
but
year
not
or two.
Like he's not
some
gonna,
dollars.
He's not
like $5 to $10 million
he won't be signing a prove it deal for 1 year, $12 million. Like that's not happening. I don't think.
All right, we've got 1 hour still to go. Maybe one of those teams that needs to lose is finally losing for the Padres to line up with a trade partner. We can talk about that and more coming up next with Bennett Woods on The Fan. Final hour of Bennett Woods on a Monday, brought to you by Staples. We just had Dennis Lin from The Athletic on. Always appreciate his connections and insight. And Dennis mentioned what A.J. Preller needs more than anything else, Woods, is for a few of these teams to start losing and falling out of contention.
Yeah, like way out.
And they may already kind of think they're out of contention, planning to sell, but you have to sell it to your own fan base as well. You can't look like you're pulling the ripcord too early, because then the fans will revolt. So you really need to wait until you're out of it. Your fans know you're out of it. And they're going, all right, when are we going to start trading some of these players so we can rebuild for next year? There's one team that may have done that over this last weekend.
The Los Angeles Dodgers.
No,
getting swept.
They got swept, but I think they're
unfortunate.
still in it. That would be the Atlanta Braves, who got swept by the Baltimore Orioles over their last 3 games and have fallen 11 games under 500. And there really doesn't seem to be much of a pathway back for the Atlanta Braves.
Schwellenbach is hurt. Strider has been ineffective. Sale is on the 60-day IL. It's looking bleak for those fellas.
You can stick a fork. There was
God,
a season of a lot of promise.
Yeah,
I know.
We say that, and then the team wins, 12 in a row.
And they've done before, where you thought they were done a few years ago. They bought on the margins, Rosario, and they win the World Series.
They win the World Series.
But at 11 games under,
Soler, guys like that.
They can probably very soon sell to their own fan base. Hey, bad luck, injuries, we need to retool. Start making players available. And the first one on the list from the Braves that you're looking at would be Sean Murphy. Behind the plate, an area of desperate need offensively for the San Diego Padres. There will be other teams interested. As mentioned this morning, heard Jim Bowden from The Athletic, Dennis's colleague, connect both the Padres and the Tampa Bay Rays with Sean Murphy, but that would be an easy upgrade offensively for the San Diego Padres.
My man makes almost 12 a year.
Which is now over half the year. We're down to like 5 to 6.
6-year deal, though.
You see how many years left?
Signed a 6-year, $73 million contract with the Braves in 2023.
All right, so he still has three years left. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yep. Club option in 29.
All right, so you're definitely through 28 if you sign him for 3 more years. That's a lot.
A lot of dough.
A lot
of coin. That's your guy. That's your guy. You got Ethan Salas coming up the pipeline potentially.
Still just 18 years old.
18.
I mean, even
old.
when that is done, Ethan's
21.
still just 21.
It's true.
Yeah.
True. That's interesting. I mean, it's a lot of cash, dude. A lot of cash. If you want Sean Murphy, if he is a difference maker, with his 13 home runs and his 230 batting average, if he's a difference maker, then you do what you need to do to get it done outside of, Leo and Ethan. I just don't know. I don't know how well they match up. I really don't. And it sounds great. It sounds absolutely great to have anybody else in right now. It's such a tough spot for us, and I know Maldi came through last night, but when those numbers pop on the screen of the OPS that starts with 5 and, you're not getting the great defense. I know Tim Kirchin last time said, man, he can really play catcher and he can really throw. And it's like, yeah, there was a time. There absolutely was a time. The thing is, man, with this organization and the guy in charge and the skipper, Mike Schild, that dude must have ultimate trust in the catcher. That's his thing. I don't think he cares at all. I think what he likes the most about Diaz and Maldi is how well they're liked by the pitching staff. And you have to give them credit. The pitching staff has done really well, right? With those guys behind the dish, their pass balls notwithstanding, all of that, Benny. That being said, man, you're going to have to sell it to the skipper. The skipper's got to be, because Brandon Valenzuela is kind of tearing it up down in the minors right now, and I haven't even heard his name. Luis Camposano is hitting whatever, and
still leads the PCL and OPS.
And Schultz like, that's my assumption.
At least he's given
He
a
has.
chance, and it's on him to make the most of that chance, and he hasn't done that.
Absolutely, no question. I'm agreeing with you, but I think knowing the skipper and where he came from, how much he values that communication from the catchers and the pitchers, and he has that right now. So I think it would be like pulling teeth to get him to be like, hey, man, Campy's ready, or Brandon Valenzuela's ready, or Sean Murphy's here.
Another team that might be almost ready to fall off the cliff is the Los Angeles Angels, who were swept over the weekend by the Toronto Blue Jays. Tyler in the chat says, rather get Darno and Ward from the Angels. They've fallen 3 games under 500. They're still just 4.5 games out of a playoff spot.
Yep.
They have not been this close to a playoff spot in many years. But if they do, like this week, before the All-Star break, fall, 6, 7 out, they will now have to seriously consider moving into sell mode before the trade deadline. So the Angels are another team that is taking that step towards sellers rather than buyers or standers at the trade deadline. But that's another team to keep an eye on over the next week before the All-Star break.
Yep. It's going to be interesting, dude. I mean, like Dennis just said, that's a little, he talks to AJ Preller. He'll finally get some people to answer his phone calls, right? Like that's what he needs. He needs these teams to start losing because he's blowing these guys up. He isn't. Has there ever been a time he didn't want to wheel and deal? No. And I think now is it's of paramount importance that they get somebody soon.
The Padres could, take matters into their own hands, and if they could knock the Arizona Diamondbacks, they're already 2 games under. If they could knock them 4 or even 6 under this week, they might put them into the categories of sellers. Now, I don't know if you're going to trade within your division.
I doubt it.
That would be an unusual move, especially teams that are such close rivals like the Padres and Diamondbacks.
Josh Naylor, welcome home.
God, in a heartbeat. Hardly know her. In a heartbeat. They're talking about he's out. I mean, there's so many guys too that they could potentially move if they continue to slide. And Eugenio Suarez is one of them.
He doesn't want to go.
He does not want to go. Zach Gallen's another one. He also doesn't want to go.
That's a team.
I know they both said we don't want to go
in division. That's a team that you could probably get some pitching and offensive help.
Yeah,
from.
But there's no way.
But they'd be insane, right?
There's no way.
Meanwhile, you're going to have more and more buyers here as we approach the trade deadline. I mean, the Giants already made their big move. They took 2 of 3 in Sacramento. That was a weird series. The former Bay Bridge series now played in Sacramento. The Giants did win last night to take 2 out of 3, so they remained 7 games above 500. They're tied essentially with the Padres for that 3rd and final wild card spot. Do the Giants have more moves in them beyond Rafael Devers, who's only been okay since he's come over to San Francisco? I mean, he's feeling the effects of Oracle Park like everybody else does.
I think they said he's K'd like half his AB so far, which is kind of out of character.
Oracle doesn't make you strike out.
Correct. Yeah, it's not the ballpark making him K. I think what it is, oh man, it happens all the time. I'm on a new team. I got to impress these guys. And look, he's not a guy I would worry about offensively. It will be there. For all the rivals of the Giants right now, take solace in the fact that he's not mashing for you because it's coming at some point.
The Cardinals have run into a bit of a pitching crunch on the big league level. They got bodied by the Cubs 11-0 yesterday, lost that series. They are behind both the Padres and Giants, just a game behind, but they're kind of at a crossroads as well. Are they close enough to be buyers? What happens over these next week? And then just out of the All-Star break, going to be very big for the St. Louis Cardinals as well.
And Eric Fetty got just demolished yesterday. And, when you get
Michaelis has been struggling.
Michaelis gave up. What did he give up the other day? 8 home runs or something? 7 home runs or something in one game? Like it was crazy. So yeah, they're hitting a wall. You wonder, if they continue to slide, is Sonny Gray somebody that's going to be out there? You also got to remember too, guys, I know we live in the Padres vacuum, but you guys know that the Los Angeles Dodgers are currently looking to upgrade. They're looking to add pieces to their team as well. They want a back end guy like an Emmanuel Clase or a Pete Fairbanks or somebody at the back end to make their bullpen even nastier. They can get anybody they want right now.
Padres
they have
can't
the
hit their bullpen anyway, so
that's true.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter. It's true.
I told you Paul Skeens is starting for the Dodgers on August 1st. Like
they've got the prospects to do it.
They can make that happen.
They absolutely do.
Then what is Blake Snell a reliever when he comes back? I mean, I don't know where you're going to put these guys that you're going to acquire, considering all the guys you should be getting back at some point as well.
Cadillac problem.
Sure, you figure it out.
But they have the prospect capital to get anybody that's on the market if that they decide that they want, and expect them to improve. So you have to know going in, if that's going to be your biggest hurdle, who do you get? Who do you get, and do you mortgage the future to do it? It's just going to be, it's such an unenviable job.
And then the Reds are a potential buyer as well. They dropped 2 of 3 to the Phillies, just like the Padres did last week, and they got shut down by Zach Wheeler, just like the Padres did. Even worse, actually. Zach Wheeler went 9, gave up 1 hit. It was a home run in the 5th inning, and struck out 12. And that's it. That was it. I think he faced 28 batters.
My God.
27 outs.
He was so good when we saw him, dude.
And he may have been even better against the Reds. So they got the same taste of it. And guess what? That means he's lined up to pitch at Petco Park this coming weekend when the Phillies will visit. So another chance to see Zach Wheeler, but at least the Phillies took 2 or 3 from the Reds, which is another team you kind of want to see go the other direction and fall out of the wild card race and not be challenging the Padres in September for one of the last playoff spots.
But, all that we, and by we, I mean the San Diego Padres, all that they can control is beating the teams in front of them. And that starts with the Arizona Diamondbacks tonight, trying to find a way to scrap it out. And like you said, the magical number, get to 4 runs, and where you've been, 33 and 15 or something like that when you scored 4 or more runs. The bullpen has been so outstanding, a little bit taxed after this series. So who's on the bump tonight? It is
Darvish
against Gallen. So Gallen's very hittable. I mean, you can absolutely do damage on Zach Gallen. Other teams have done so. So yeah, man, this is it. This is where it gets a little nasty going into the break with the Diamondbacks and the Phillies.
We can go through the rest of this series coming up. Paulie's also got some headlines for us in the Reindl Report as we continue on this hour. But yeah, no days off. It's a pattern that we've seen. Now, the Padres will have their bullpen lined up for one day.
Yep.
Like last night, like Friday, where you can go.
Last night was brilliantly managed.
It was. It was. And, many times. And Mike Schilt, I think the 3rd or 4th time this last couple of weeks, said, yeah, pretty much played out exactly the way we wanted it to. Got our guys through to the 5th, and then we handed it to Estrada, who handed it to Adam, who handed it to Morahone, who handed it to Suarez. But you cannot do that every day.
You just can't.
Kyle Hart was so big again last night. We cannot stress that enough.
So good.
He was so clutch.
Brian Hoeing needs to find his groove wherever that is. I don't think he's your 8th inning guy when on the B team of the bullpen.
You need to find another way to win, though.
You do.
It can't only be.
How about some offense?
You get a 1 or 2 run lead, and then those guys lock it down.
Correct.
That's a great way to win. But there are other ways to win. You can have a starting pitcher dominate and go 7 or 8 innings, and you win that way. Or you could have your offense, put up 8 or 9 runs, and you have your back end guys just kind of hold the other team to 5 or 6, and you can use Yuki and Wandy and
Hoeing
and just it's fine. We can win 9-6 occasionally, or you can fall behind even 4-2. Have your Hoeings and Wandys keep it close.
Yep.
Walk one off every once in a while. But right now, there's only really
one way to win.
Formula to win, and that is
2-1.
Get your 2-1 lead. Maybe add one on, maybe
Estrada,
not.
Adam,
and ask those guys to be
Suarez.
perfect for 4 innings every single time. It's it's not a recipe for sustained success.
No,
that's your only formula for winning.
You get to the playoffs, it's absolutely elite. And I said it on the roundtable 2 weeks ago. I'll say it again. Our bullpen is championship caliber. It's the only part of this team that is championship
and you have
caliber.
Off days in the playoffs where you can bring those guys back much more often than you can. But when you're now on a stretch of 10 in a row here at the end of the All-Star.
But you can't. You got to get there, number one, and you cannot get there by riding these guys like Secretariat till Jason Adams. Jason Adams can't have 112 appearances going into the playoffs. He just can't. He just can't. It cannot happen. So they need help. And I think bullpen help is something else. AJ Preller has always found. He will always find. They have help coming up in the minor leagues that are probably ready to make the jump here very soon. So that's a good part. Now, but that's the area where they can trade from to add pieces to the major league roster.
And by the way, our friend Letters to AJ came out with a new piece today, and he kind of broke down probably a stat you've heard lately, and that is the Padres' record against teams above 500 versus below 500. Right now, the Padres are 32-11 against teams with losing records, 16-30 against teams with winning records. So, how are you going to have success in the playoffs when all you face are winning teams? But he points out that of those 30 losses, 11 of them are by 1 run.
Yep.
And they have held those teams down. They're just not scoring.
Yeah.
So if you could find just a little more offense, a trade here or two, Jackson Merrill getting locked back in, Toddy going on a really rampage like he was earlier in the season, all of a sudden you are very competitive, if not playing just as well against the winning teams. But that's been the big difference so far between the winning teams and the losing teams. And it's kind of a small razor's edge margin that the Padres need to figure out how they can improve, just like a run a game, which is bigger than you think, run a game, but you need to find a way to kind of improve by a run a game in the second half of the season.
No question, man. No question about it. Offense has been the bugaboo all year, and we're all sitting here crossing our fingers and really biting our fingernails every night, hoping they'll figure out a way to get that hit with the bases loaded. I don't know what we're hitting with the bases loaded this year, but it's not good. We've had a chance, Benny. We've had a chance to be a prolific offense. We really have. Like, there's those games where it feels like what are we leaving on base? 10, 12, 13 a game sometimes.
Padres have had over 10 hits in each of the last, 3 or 4 games. I mean, they're just not bringing
them in.
The runs in.
So they're getting on. The process is right. All that. They're just not getting the big hit. If they start getting the big hit, like you said earlier, this team could be potentially deadly, and that's without adding anybody. They still do need to add somebody at the bottom, but man, it has just been it's been like right there, edge, so close to breaking through.
There is one thing the Padres have been very consistent at all season long without fail: attendance. Another weekend of sellouts at Petco Park, and if you are interested in attending the Wednesday game against the Arizona Diamondbacks, when we come back, we will have tickets to give away for the City Connect Straw Hat giveaway game on Wednesday night at Petco Park. First 40,000 fans going to get that City Connect Straw Hat. We will have tickets to give away, and then the Reindl Report with some headlines and more stuff that we missed during our week off in Philly that we wanted to get to, all coming up with Bennett Woods after a quick timeout on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, Woods and I want to talk about trustandwill.com. I was talking with my buddy when I was playing golf this weekend, and he said, at some point you're on my list of like trust, will, like, going to make decisions. Apparently, well,
wow.
I may have to make decisions at some point. You can line that up for your own family by going to trustandwill.com. And you don't even have to go to a lawyer's office, billable hours, none of that. A very affordable, quick process. You can set up legal documents, including a last will and testament, and even a trust for your assets that can help you avoid the nightmare of
probate court. That's exactly right. It was so sad. I sat next to a guy on the plane that was currently talking about the probate laws and how gnarly they are. And it's just something that you need to do for your family's peace of mind after you're gone. So go to trustandwill.com, use the code FAN when you check out. You'll get 20% off plus free shipping of your estate documents. Again, trustandwill.com. Use the code FAN when you check out. Do it today. It's peace of mind. Can't put a price on it. Trustandwill.com.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Best of luck from Ben & Woods to you, Darvish. Probably rocking a Ben & Woods shirt before he takes the mound for the first time this season.
Underneath.
Tonight against Zach Gallen in the opener to a 4-game series against the Arizona Diamondbacks. All 4 games, 6:40 starts, all right here on 97.3 The Fan with 5:40 Eco Water SoCal pregame shows with Sam Levitt. Here are your other scheduled pitching matchups, and I believe both Torey Lovello and Mike Schild have announced their rotations. So Merrill Kelly against Nick Pivetta tomorrow night. Wednesday night is Brandon Pfaadt against Dylan Cease. And then the series wraps up Thursday night. No day games in the series. Thursday night will be Eduardo Rodriguez against Randy Vasquez. Very consistent baseball for you this week.
Very.
At night.
Yeah, 6:40 every night. Mrs. is going tonight to go see Yu Darvish pitch and maybe Manny getting his 2000th. I really wanted it for him on his birthday. Had a good
We
pass.
wanted it for him in Philadelphia when we were there, but that
for
wasn't
sure.
going to happen.
That was not going to happen, but had a good pass. The changeup's been chewing him up this series. They figured out a way to get Manny Machado out. Last year it was the slider away, low and away. He's done so well this year at spitting on that one, but the Texas Rangers did a really good job of just going heater up, and he would foul it straight back, and the change up down, and he was it's the most unfair
That's why
pitch
they
in
say
baseball.
It's a game of adjustments because it doesn't seem fair. You work so hard to fix one thing, and then they just go after you another way.
I'm telling you, man.
You know,
When they say it's a game of inches, it's a game of centimeters. Like, how about some of the challenges that we saw throughout the whole series, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
Insane.
And you're like, I'm pretty sure that one's not going to go in our favor, and rightly so. He looks safe or whatever, but just by like a fraction of an inch, dude.
I mean, give him millimeters.
The Trenton Brooks popping up off the bag for a hair, and Seager holding the tag on
I
him.
hate the rule, but he was out.
He's out.
He's out.
Manny hit a drive last night, 103 off the bat, 25-degree launch angle. I saw a video. I think it might have been Letters to
It was.
AJ.
It was Corey Seager from a couple years ago.
Pointed out, same ball, same launch angle, same exit velocity. The thing goes over 420 feet in Texas, but at Petco Park, it dies after 390 feet on the warning track in center field.
Do we need to have a legitimately honest conversation about potentially doing something to Petco Park?
Putting a dome on it? No.
Not a dome, but do we move the fences in 5 feet? I don't know, because then it's not, it's not ideal for your pitchers because the other team gets a hit there too.
Elite run prevention is nice, but
if
it hurts the hitters.
If
and this season in particular,
it really has stung.
It felt like it has gone back to more of the earlier days, because the last few years it really wasn't that bad of a hitter's ballpark, but this year it has gone back to being a place where you just cannot get the ball to fly. Maybe it's something to do with the balls that have changed and they're just reacting more at Petco Park, or our weather's been somewhat different. I'm not sure, but yeah, Manny got all of that ball. It's Manny getting all of a ball at just the perfect launch angle, and it still doesn't go out.
It's really frustrating. If hitting the ball to the warning track was the object of the game, we would be murderers row. Jackson, Toddy, Manny, hell, even Arise has gotten one out there to the track. Gavin Sheets, my God, what has he got? 15 homers or something? He should have probably 20. It's the balls. I know the balls are different this year. I know the drag on them is more. Saris has talked about it. It's something, but other teams use the same balls as well. But I guess when you add the equation of Petco Park plus the new balls, it's a graveyard right now. I don't know what you do. Fix the balls.
I mean, that's one of the adjustments. Baseball, a game of adjustments. Padres have tried, hit more line drives. They also lead the league, and I believe this is statistically documented, and you won't be shocked if you watch any Padres baseball at all. They lead the league in line drive outs.
Yep.
In Major League Baseball, no team lines into more outs.
God, that one Merrill had with the bases loaded to center, right center, and I'm like, yeah, he's got it. He's got a beat on it, but I'm like, he smoked that and
it's so fall. It's honestly like it's so counterintuitive to probably everything that they're being preached by Victor Rodriguez and the front office of, hey man, hard middle. Hard middle is always the right approach. It's always hard middle, Oppo gap, that's always the right approach. It's never wrong, except when it is in Petco Park. Maybe these guys need to be looking to just yak the ball down the line. Down right field if you're a lefty, and down left field if you're Manny Machado, or you are Fernando Tatis Jr., or you are Xander Bogaerts especially, who is hitting seeds to center field where they just boo, he pimps everyone, and I'm like, it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere.
I thought he
why
had
are
a
you
grand
standing
slam,
there
yeah.
watching that? Because it's not going anywhere. If Xander pulls that ball, it's up in the upper deck. So I just, again, hard middle I think it's always the right approach, maybe except for our beloved Petco Park. It really is a tough place to play.
All right, it is time now. We didn't have a sounder today. It is time now to call in, though, to win 2 tickets to Padres Diamondbacks this Wednesday at Petco Park. Again, the first 40,000 fans will receive a free Padres City Connect straw hat. You can get your tickets at padres.com/tickets. If history is any indication, this thing will sell out. You can win them now. 833-288-0973. 8th caller, which means we're going to run through the lines once and then keep calling and run through them a second time to get to caller number 8 is going to be our winner. And then Paulie's got some headlines in the Reindl Report in our final segment of Bennett Woods. It's been a good first day back.
It sure has, ma'am.
You know how you dread going back to school after summer? This has been a really good first day back.
So happy to be back.
And we will wrap it up next with Bennett Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, played at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Had my first day back at 7 Mile Casino just before the trip. Went down, had a great lunch with my son at Sammy's. Just love the atmosphere, though. I walk in, I'm like selling the place on my son because he just turned 21 last year. I'm going, isn't this place cool?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just comfortable. You walk in, everyone's having a good time. The food's good. Look at this patio, the view out toward Coronado, the Silver Strand. It's absolutely gorgeous because I do believe in 7 Mile Casino.
As do I. And obviously with the homestand here, great place to go pre and post. Pre or post or pre and post. You have a really, really good time down at 7 Mile Casino in a smoke-free environment. You got all the games that you're looking for. They got Texas Hold'em, they got Pai Gow, they got Baccarat, and they've got, what am I missing? California-style blackjack,
It
of
is
course.
the favorite.
Yep.
Check it out today or go this weekend. Check out the brunch Saturdays and Sundays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. It is also outstanding 24/7 players menu. You can't go wrong with any of the great favorites, including the Kung Pao chicken, which is what I ordered at lunch, of course, when I went last week. It is 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
I know there's a lot of disappointed Tier 1s who didn't get through. Line's still ringing, but we do have a winner. And it worked out actually pretty well because Joey called in, and Joey is celebrating his birthday and was about to buy tickets for Wednesday's game. But instead, he won them from the Ben and Woods program at 97.3 The Fan. So he's going to go. He's going to get his City Connect straw hat and enjoy the game on Wednesday night. Now, someone in the Tier 1 audience who is not going to get to go to the game is Tier 1's Charisma and Chris.
Yes.
Because, as Charisma said in the chat this morning, they are scheduled for their delivery on Wednesday.
Of their new bundle of joy.
Right.
That will be here Wednesday.
Very exciting.
I imagine the kid comes out with like a Padres handkerchief on already, which would be a miracle of modern science. But I think if anybody could do it, it would be Charisma, who owns a...
She's saying stop.
At least like an SD tattooed on the baby. Like it just comes out.
It's like a birthmark, like an SD
Yeah.
birthmark. Sweet angel.
We're just wishing you our best, Charisma, as everyone deserves that. You're going to be good. You're going to be great parents.
I can't wait to see that baby. It's going to be Padres royalty, that little one. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. I think a good name is Steven.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's a really good name.
You don't like Benjamin?
I like Benjamin, but I
Not
like
bad.
Steven a little better. Steven Doherty. Sounds great.
I'm already a Benjamin Stevens. So
That's true.
I've got your name and my name covered.
That's true.
over here.
Very true. Indeed.
All right,
Oh,
Paulie.
it's a girl. Stevie then.
And we do have one more pair of tickets to give away tomorrow morning
good.
for
Okay.
Wednesday's show. So
Awesome. So if you
We'll
didn't
try
win them
again.
today, tune
Probably in the
again
first half of
tomorrow.
tomorrow's show.
Yeah, we'll
is my
probably do it a little
guess.
bit earlier. So join us early, and we will give away some more Padres Diamondbacks tickets.
Charisma said she already told Chris she's tuning in to the YouTube stream her first morning, which is really sweet. Do you want us to send a camera? We can live stream the entire birth. Could be
Just
very
for gold
good.
members,
For
though.
gold members, a gold membership. All right, guys, here we go. Push, push, push.
All
gonna be
right.
great.
Paulie's got some headlines with us. The Reindl Report coming up to wrap things up here on a Monday after our last check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Couple of accidents wrapping up our morning drive. One of them northbound 5 on the Hawthorne Street off-ramp. Also a collision on the Mira Mesa Boulevard on-ramp to southbound 15. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Wood, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Rod says you move the birth to Baja Ricks. Yeah, you eat one of those big giant buckets. Oh, I just had my head just almost just stroked out, dude. Baja, come on down to Baja Ricks. Christmas is gonna be giving birth on the gold member stream. Woo, I'm deceased. All right. Sorry.
No problem. Got to remember how to do all this,
I
guys.
know, right?
Happy Monday.
Happy
Let's
Monday.
get right into it. Pretty spicy story in Major League Baseball that dropped Friday,
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, right
Yeah.
before the weekend.
Staggering.
With Guardians pitcher Luis Ortiz. He is the subject of a gambling investigation. He's put on paid leave, I believe, for the next couple of weeks while they sort through this. And like Jeff Passan did a big deep dive onto all of this, but basically Major League Baseball works with betting integrity firms that will monitor unusual or suspicious activity on certain games, certain moments in games, etc., and go, why did a bunch of people randomly bet on that? That looks suspicious.
Right. When the fix is in sports, generally it's in for a lot of people, and they will see an unusual amount of activity. It's not one guy who, cleverly finds a way to win an extra $500. No one would ever know if that was the case.
Yeah,
but
like his buddy that was like, hey man, $500 I could make if you yank a pitch.
Yeah. So what we're talking about is they are looking at 2 pitches out of however many hundreds and hundreds of pitches he's thrown this year. They're looking at 2, and it was a game on June 15th against Seattle, and then 12 days later, June 27th of this year against the Cardinals. And it was the first pitch of an inning for him. It was the second inning, I believe, against Seattle, and the top of the third inning against the Cardinals. And, I mean, look, you want to talk about being a degenerate gambler. To go on to, any of these apps and markets where you can bet.
I didn't know you could.
You can bet on like the first pitch of an inning, ball or strike, or hit and play versus not hit and play. So when these betting firms see that a bunch of people bet on it being a ball to open the inning, and then anybody with access to the games goes back and looks at the pitch and sees that it wasn't even close.
It flagged it.
Like
so it
worst, some of the worst worst missed pitches of the year. And they're going, okay, so an extraordinarily high amount of people bet on this to be a ball, and he yanked it about 12 feet left of the home plate.
I mean, it wasn't even close. Like, there's got to be a way, and it probably is, that you can sell that a little bit better if you're Luis Ortiz.
a major league pitcher. You're supposed
you
to
can't
have
put it 2 inches off the plate.
Your
control.
Your starter, right? Like you're a starter in the big leagues. You can't throw a fastball up and away.
Although you have to make sure they don't swing.
They don't swing. Yeah, you're right.
Because if they swing at it,
It's
foul
true.
it off, even if it was well off the plate, it's a strike, and the gamblers don't win.
You can't even throw like spike one right in front of the plate because maybe they think fastball, they start to swing, and you're screwed. I don't know.
I don't know. This is why you shouldn't do it.
It says it flagged a bunch of bets. Those pitches, the alerts were in Ohio, New York, and New Jersey.
So let's play this forward, okay? Or let's play it in reverse, actually. So are we to believe that Luis Ortiz and a group of people that he knows conspired for him to throw a ball in the top of the second inning on the first pitch?
You get a bunch of buddies, you get $10,000, and you go, here, 500 for you, 500 for you, 500 for you.
That's what we're led to believe, that he
I think that's what's being insinuated.
He conspired to throw a ball to make a bunch of people, including himself, who's going to get a taste of this.
Yeah.
What are we talking here? Because the guy makes, I just looked it up, he makes $782,000.
But it's not generally greed that is motivated to win an extra few $100. They are usually already deeply in some sort of gambling problem, and this is offered as a lifeline to get out.
God
This is what usually happens.
Man.
That's a good point.
So this isn't. I read this. This actually goes way back. If you go all the way back to the Black Sox scandal in 1919. White Sox pitcher Eddie Seacott was the part of the 8 men out, and he hit the very first batter of the World Series, Maury Rath, and that was a signal
to the team,
to
gamblers.
the gamblers and everybody that it's on. We're throwing this World Series. Get your bets in for the rest of the series.
Unreal.
And even back in the day, it was before television, but box scores would say, "Oh, hit by pitch, first batter, it's on," and that signaled. Arnold Rothstein or whoever was the gambling guy in charge of it all. That it's on. Get the bets in. The White Sox are throwing this series.
It's insane to me, man. It really is. It's this culture it's gotten out of control. I'm guilty as charged. Absolutely guilty as charged. It's hard to stomach at certain days and times. So, what's the plan?
So he was
They're
on
investigating
administrative
him?
leave. I want to say it was July 17th is what I saw while they do their investigation. It could take longer than that, in which case he would stay on administrative leave. I don't know if it changes from paid to non-paid. I'm not
Is
sure.
there a paper trail? You'll never know what was in your heart, because every pitcher spikes a pitch, throws a bad pitch. You'll never know what was in his heart. Is there an electronic trail? Can they get access to it? Is there someone texted him, said, all right, first pitch, got to be way outside, something like that? If there's a smoking gun, we got a scandal on our hands. If not, I don't know. We'll see.
Stephen Vogt, manager of the
suspicions,
Guardians,
but nothing else.
He said a couple of days ago, honestly, when I got the news yesterday, I didn't know how to feel. There's so much unknowns with this, but you know what? Every team goes through adversity, maybe different kinds, but this is a resilient group.
Yeah.
I've been through situations similar to this before in my career as a player. And what would I have wanted to hear? How would I want the manager to react? That's what I'm trying to do.
Man, that's and they've lost 10 in a row too. Like just
Probably part of the stress of this hanging over their heads.
Crazy,
as well.
man. Yeah. Crazy.
We'll move on. We'll keep it in Major League Baseball. We're not going to revisit too many 10 days while we were gone, but literally the day after our final show, which was Friday, June 27th, we got the news on Saturday, the 28th, that a legend had passed on. Cobra, friend of the show. We had him on, I think.
Man, we did.
Twice. For sure once, maybe twice.
Coolest of the cool.
Dave Parker passed away at the age of 74 after a long battle with Parkinson's. And the stories just flooded in everywhere on social media after that. Everybody that's covered the game for a long time, they've got a Dave Parker story. He's just the best.
One of those guys that, we've talked to opposing pitchers that had to face him. They're like, terrifying, imposing the whole thing. Like he steps in, you're like, I'm dead. I'm dead. Part of the two coolest pictures in baseball history. Paulie's got one of them up there right now. Him blasting the heater in the dugout. It's nothing cooler than that picture. And then him with the shirt, which I have bought for both of my children, by the way. If you hear any noise, it's just me and the boys bopping. They're going to have to grow into him. They're big, but he's just the coolest, dude. Just the coolest.
I'm about to turn 50 this year. What changes would I need to make in my life to earn the nickname the Cobra for the rest of my life? Feels like a lot.
I think your time has passed on that one. I don't know that you can make up all the lost ground to become
There's just no way that I can ever be the Cobra
Higgins.
At this point. It's that dream has died already.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you're not going to be the Cobra.
That's a really cool nickname.
It's like, what's cooler than the Cobra?
He was the man.
Nothing. So you know how we do it.
Only one way to do it.
Only one way to do it.
And I really hope we can see more unity and more peace when already things are so difficult. So, shout out to his family.
Oh, and we have to do another one for one of my favorite actors of all time that passed away.
Gosh,
Mr. Blonde.
Mr. Blonde. Michael Madsen passed away. I was blown. I was
I had to
blown
do that
away.
story on the news when I was anchoring last week. That was good. That was a bummer.
We never do the back-to-back, but for Michael Madsen, he absolutely gets,
the full
royal
treatment
treatment.
again.
Yes, go ahead.
And I really hope we can see more unity and more peace when already things are so difficult. So, shout out to his family.
Apparently he was a real sweetheart. None of his characters were, but apparently he was a real sweetheart.
He was a poet.
Yeah.
He had a rough go, man. A lot of substance abuse, and I watched Donnie Brasco the day he passed away, and he plays Sonny Black. He's the coolest MFer I've ever seen on screen. There's just him in Reservoir Dogs. I watched that as well. I did and I watched The Getaway. I watched 3 Madsen movies on 4th of July.
Wow.
In between Oasis clips, which is our next story. But he was so flippin' cool. And 67 years old, man, way too young for a cat like that. So rest in peace, my friend.
Finally, we will wrap it up with a little Oasis talk. I texted you
for 4 hours.
I texted you.
Oh my God!
What day was the show?
July 4th,
Friday. Okay, so I texted you on Saturday morning, and I said, "Did you just spend all day yesterday watching the clips roll out,
Paulie,
throughout the day?"
Because
I did.
I celebrated 4th of July like every red-blooded American should by watching England's very own Oasis reunite and blow my mind. I laughed. I cried. I did all of it. I'm a wreck.
And you're going
I'm
in 2
going
weeks.
in
Less
2
than
weeks.
2 weeks.
Less than 2 weeks.
Week and a half.
My plane leaves in 9 days, boys.
Wow.
I am a wreck. I can't wait. They did such a great job. Everybody said, "Oh, it's just a money grab for them." They don't really care. To watch them come out hand in hand and hug, and Noel Gallagher, like tears in his eyes, playing Slide Away and with his brother singing, I was a wreck. Yeah, dude. And then the Black Sabbath got back together in England was the place to be for 4th of July weekend. I really blew it, man. Black Sabbath reunited and played their final concert ever in Birmingham, which is their hometown. All these stars, Slash and Joe and Steven Tyler and all these bands came up and did Black Sabbath songs. It was unbelievable. Ozzy came up in a throne. I was in heaven watching all these clips.
But apparently we're not the only baseball talking duo with Oasis obsessed and doesn't really do much musically over
This
here.
was incredible on the Orioles broadcast.
Can I just take one moment to just say
is
something
Kevin
before
Brown.
we're done
Sure.
today? It's just a very special day for me and for a lot of friends of mine and a lot of friends of ours across the pond. Yes, it's a special day here in America. It's July 4th, but it is a special day in the United Kingdom because of the reunion after 16 years of Oasis. They are back today. First show in 16 years.
Wait a
Liam
minute,
and Noel
wait a minute.
Gallagher.
Back up
They're
now.
back. They played Cardiff. Oasis.
So it's making
are back, baby. They're so back, and I'm seeing them in 2 months. I'm so excited.
Is this a movie? Or
Is this a movie?
band? I'm confused.
You know it's a band. Fly
You
ball
know
to
it's a
center.
band. No, I don't. I've heard you talk about it, but so it's a band. And so they broke up for 16 years?
16 years.
And now they're back. Is it the same group is back?
Liam and
Everybody?
Noel Gallagher, the brothers are back. Bonehead's back on guitar.
So why'd
Andy
they break
Bell's
why'd they
playing bass.
break up? What was the reason?
They just
they got bored?
Liam threw a lot of stuff in Noel's head.
Yeah, he
Basically,
threw at him. Oh my gosh, this sounds like a soap opera.
You have no idea, my friend. You have no idea.
You get one. What's your favorite one?
All of them.
No, you get one.
All of them. All of them tied. Best Oasis song is "Slide Away."
Indeed.
You would never
Slide
heard.
Away. I've probably heard it.
No,
You
you've
haven't.
never heard "Slide
Sing
Away."
it for me.
There's no.
I will if you want.
Slide away. Let me see if
we're
it
gonna play
sounds.
this game again, huh?
It was so good.
The only one you'd know is Wonderwall. That's the only one you'd have any chance of knowing, I think.
I said maybe. There we go.
Fantastic. That was really well done.
Kevin
I'd like
Brown
to.
and Ben McDonald.
I'd like
on
to
the
shake
Orioles
Kevin Brown's
broadcast,
hand.
yeah.
Are the Orioles coming here at all this year? Do we know? Are
they
they on
haven't
the,
played them
are
yet,
they on
so
the
we
schedule?
definitely are playing them at some point. I mean,
don't
there's
see 'em?
definitely Padres Orioles
Yeah,
games.
September.
They're here.
Ah,
In
there you go.
they start September here.
What
Unless he
date?
misses the series because he's going to Oasis.
What date? Because they are playing.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd of
So
September.
I'll bet you anything he's going to the shows that I'm going to, or the show at the Rose Bowl on September 6th.
Oh, sticking around on the West
Yeah,
Coast.
probably.
Going to
Sticking around on the
show.
West
That
Coast.
makes a lot of sense.
We have to beat him or get him on. But no, I was in heaven, man. I was in heaven watching this. I cried like all weekend. I really did. They mean so much to me.
And then there was Tim Kirchin, who we got to meet in Philly, who yesterday admitted that he thought I was angry like the wolf and knows nothing about music.
Not hungry like the
angry
wolf.
like the wolf. Yeah.
Makes sense a little bit.
Oh, Tim.
It does, man. I loved it. Paulie, I was so happy.
I mean, dude,
I sat there. They sounded amazing.
They sounded phenomenal.
Like they're in their prime, dude. I felt proud of them. I was so proud. They both had it. Just working class dudes, man, from the council in Manchester and made it big and, true rock stars. It was unbelievable. So happy.
We're so happy to be back. Tier
Yeah.
ones, thank you for letting us go on vacation for a week.
Thank you. We really needed it, and we're really recharged and fired up.
We will be back tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. That's it for us. Good to be back in studio with Paulie Reindl, with Stephen Woods. I'm Ben Higgins. Enjoy the rest of your day. Braden, Italian Paul up next year on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.